All right.
Excellent. Should I text and tell people that I'm live right now?
I mean,
Can I share that?
Yeah, you could share that, but then you have to go on your computer to do that. You can't really do that.
Can I share it
You
from
can share
here?
it from there,
Okay.
yeah. But then it's just dead air right there while you're on your phone.
I think we can still keep talking. Like,
I mean, could you? Okay,
America.
So when you have
Oh
the
my
square,
God, they're so exciting.
you're,
Okay, I'm paying
you're
attention.
doing that.
I'm
You're
paying
doing that,
attention.
and
Okay.
I'm talking to you, and you're going to respond to me. But
All
you don't
right,
have to
all
look at
right.
me. If you look at me, I'll hit you.
You know that no abuse. We have to support women in their autonomy. So
I
there's
do.
no abuse.
I do. It's not abuse.
Okay,
It's
how do I find
loving
you?
tap across the forehead.
Nay. No, I say nay. Oh no, North Korea. Okay, we're not going to read about the news.
Stop reading. Oh
Okay,
my
sorry,
God.
sorry,
What are you
sorry.
doing?
The news is
Ruining
there.
my show.
I am encouraging people to watch and pay attention to the news. I am the anchorman.
While you do that, I'm going to
Brightside?
introduce the Brightside with Mikey and Rachel. Okay, so while you do that, and
All
you
right.
and you
Don't
share
you have
it out
something
loud.
to do?
I do have something
on,
to do.
on it.
Hey everybody, my name is Mikey. Welcome to the Brightside.
And I'm Joe Hoffberg.
I actually completely fucked that up.
Sorry,
and then
try
you
it
come in.
again.
Okay,
No, you
let's
try it again.
Okay, take two.
Okay.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Brightside with Mikey and Rachel. I'm Mikey, and this is not Rachel, but
Joe Hoffberg.
exactly. Rachel's in America. I'm in Berlin right now, which is another funny story that we'll get into in just a little bit. But
Yeah.
Rachel, if you're watching, hi, I miss you.
Hi, Rachel. You keep making that cup of coffee like the babe you are. Yeah. And Brett, you better enjoy and keep snapping pictures away because
Oh,
I
he
enjoy
does.
watching them.
Oh, he does.
Looking
How
at
he
them.
does. So if you're just joining us, we're going live here for everybody that can watch. And then if you have any questions or comments or you want to send us something, please leave us a comment in the comments down below. Can I say comment again?
I
Comment.
think you could say it one more time.
So a big up to Sebastian and Selena. This is Sebastian's lovely home here.
Pad.
And Selena helped us
Set it up.
rig up all the lights and shit here, and it's super, super cool. So thank you guys very much. Also, every once in a while, I'll tune into Mr. Johnny Cash over here. How are you doing tonight? I'm doing all right. Okay, that's good. All right. That's
A
fine.
man of many words.
Man of many words, many words. All right. So, Joe,
Mikey,
how you doing?
I'm doing really well.
Yeah?
I'm pretty excited.
You've had a little bit to drink because you're turning red now.
What? No. Speaking of which,
Yeah,
I
exactly.
think because when you're on the job,
We've been working hard this week, so I think we deserve it.
totally. And you know what I have to say?
Hmm.
This is very impressive because you can see my lip gloss, but not my lipstick because I'm wearing some incredible lipstick called Lip Sense, and I love it. Back to Mikey.
Oh my God. I knew this was going to happen. I knew as soon as I was like, let's do a live Facebook. I'm like,
Yeah.
she's going to treat it like a goddamn show.
Absolutely.
Oh, God.
What do
Okay,
we have for
so
them?
first things first. First things first.
Yes.
Talk to me, not to them.
All right.
They're a fly on the wall. There are many flies on the wall.
Yeah, I
this
was
is
going to
not
say.
a healthy habitat to live in.
All
Stop
9.
staring at them.
Okay.
Stop
okay,
staring
I'm
at
ready.
them.
I'm ready.
And also when you talk into the microphone, talk into the microphone.
Am I talking with the
There
microphone?
we go. No, you're fine. You're like this, not like this, because then it sounds like shit. Okay, so like this.
Okay.
There we go. So yeah, if you guys watched earlier online, I posted a couple of pictures of us. If you noticed that,
I think we were grocery shopping. But I don't
one
know.
of them.
I don't.
One of them, I think we were. It was one night that we were in Santa Monica. We were hanging out with Sarah and Ben.
Oh, we're talking about the old photo. I thought
Yeah,
you were
the old
talking about the
photos.
ones that you just posted like 10 minutes ago of
Oh, no.
adult grocery shopping
That was
with the
adult
bottles
grocery.
of alcohol and
this is the wine
and the pile of gummies.
Yeah,
So-
that too. But no, I mean, earlier today I posted some pictures of us, and I told you about them, and you
You
were like, "Oh my
did.
God!" You haven't seen those pictures in years. Huh?
It's been years since I've seen most of those pictures. Like me with dark hair.
Yeah.
It's been years since I've seen
that you know where that was, right?
Tijuana.
Exactly. Yeah, Tijuana's, yeah.
What year was that?
Oh my God, it had to be 2006, 2007.
Okay, yeah, because I would have still been in university.
It was because it was before you started Dancing with Kevin.
Okay, yeah,
It was like right before.
right before. So maybe the end of 2006.
Yeah, 2006.
Yeah.
maybe 2005.
No, actually, no. I think I had brown hair also in 2007 for a little bit, so it could
Okay.
have actually been
All right.
2007.
So that was
Wow.
really funny because that was a really fun night because I think it was slightly after or before around the time of Camp Jitterbug
Uh-huh.
because other friends of ours from Australia were there, Anthony and Sarah,
Ah,
and they were there dancing that night because I have another picture of me dancing with them.
the Wheatons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember dancing with you that night, and we were talking about this stuff, and because we had just come back from Camp Jitterbug, and you were like, "Well, what's this whole following thing?"
What's this whole following thing? Yeah,
Which is hilarious.
about that.
Yeah, right? Because like hilarious now because like your whole thing is like you really delve deep in the idea of what it means to be a follower, and now you teach that like your methods and your manners are all about that. But back then,
One step at a time.
but back then, like Not so much. Do you remember those times?
I mean, kind of. It's kind of like a dream. Like I remember thinking, just dance, just feel it. And everybody in San Francisco just felt it. They felt all the things. Because remember, coming from the north, the great white north of San Francisco, coming from there, like we had a much bluesier scene, and it like had really wiggly music, and it was the wiggly hop scene, and a lot of the pros had a bunch of like hip hop in their movement as well. Right. So we didn't dance fast. Like there was a lot of hand holding and like putting foreheads together and like closing their eyes and like feeling it super hard, like C Jam Blues. Like you couldn't feel a song harder than C Jam Blues.
It was more about the emotional aspect rather than the analytical.
Totally. I don't think we knew how to follow things. Like I don't know if anyone knew how to explain it, and if they did, they never told me.
But then you figured it out. It was really good.
Years later, in like 2008, I was like, are you kidding me? I have to stand on one foot? That's horseshit.
And you made that shit up. Stand on one foot, not the other.
Kevin made that all up. And then I was like, I can't do it though. So I guess okay, well, fine. I'll do this stupid thing and then I'll show you. Exactly. And I was like, oh, I guess I can't stand on my other foot either.
That's the worst.
Very confusing.
That's the worst thing ever, standing. But then but when we were talking about it, you said something to me. We were talking about those pictures, and you said something so evil to me.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Say it again.
Nope, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Say it again.
What? Why should I follow?
So when I showed no. When I showed you the pictures of what I posted, the old pictures of us, you said something so evil to me. Go ahead and say it again.
Oh, look at us. That's us in our 20s. Oh. It happens though, Mikey.
I know. No. Okay, no, I am not like an ageist like type person. Like I do not give a shit. Mm-hmm. But it's just a funny thing. I never thought of it like that. When I saw those pictures and I posted, I was like, "This is awesome." I just relived those nights and like hanging out with the four of us or like dancing in Orange County and shit. And like it just brought back beautiful memories. And then you were like, "Oh yeah, that's our 20s," and you said it so nonchalantly, and I was like, "Gah!" Like it felt like something. I'm like, what is this feeling?
I know.
It was so.
There's people who have been born in the 90s since us.
I know, and that's okay. I'm okay with that.
After the 90s,
I'm okay with that.
That's the weird one. When somebody's born in 2001, that you're like, oh.
Dasha.
Yeva. Just one of the future of Lindy Hop.
Exactly.
The Swedish children that are just killing it. The
They're
Swedish
14, 15.
The Swedish teens. Yeah. They were there at Harangue.
Wilma and her brother.
I'd have to look up their names again.
Yeah.
I have to look up their names again. But they are so fierce. It's ridiculous. I saw them competing at Harangue, and they went head to head.
They just have to stop looking at the goddamn crowd. Like seriously.
They got their boogie training.
I don't give a fuck like that.
They got their boogie training.
I don't give a fuck. Like no. That every time like a dance contest happens and like a follower looks out to the crowd and like acknowledge me, and I'm like, no, you just killed it. Like
I'll show you a video later, and then you tell me how you feel about it. Those kids were flying. Nope. Oh, they were so good.
The thing is for me is like I have no doubt the way they dance is great, but when they do that, it's like when someone breaks the third wall in a movie and it makes no fucking sense.
Breaks the third wall?
Yeah. So like in movies, so like it's like
we're in Germany. Are you allowed to speak about breaking walls?
Yeah, of course they do it all the time. The professionals let it. I saw a bunch of walls. Never mind. Anyway, so no, they're breaking the third wall is like making like you're talking to somebody and then like you look at the audience and you're like, right, like you're in a movie, right? And so like when people do that on Lindy Hop and like competitions and shit, and I'm like, no, stop it. I'm with you. You already got me. You don't need to acknowledge this at this point. If you're looking out for us, you're looking out for yourself. You're looking out to be adored for yourself.
This makes so much sense. When I think about our rehearsals last week,
which is why
Look at me.
Which is why we've been in Berlin is because that's so good. Okay, just gotta check into it every once in a while. We got 10 viewers, not bad.
No, we got 12.
Not bad.
I guess unless we're one of them, 11.
Yeah.
Okay, 10.
So we're in Berlin right now.
Yes.
We're gonna do a routine.
Yes.
It was going a little bit slow. It's going a little bit faster now.
Yes.
As in 2015 it was slow. This year's going to be a little faster.
Okay. Yes, that too.
Yeah, and our routine as well. Choreography has been a little bit rough this time, but it's okay.
We've been relearning how to move our bodies again.
Yes,
so
because that's what we did last time.
Yes.
I like this is what I constantly tell you, and like I feel you. You constantly tell us like, why can't we do something easy? Why can't we do something like a boogie back?
Have a kick up.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And I'm like, but that's so easy. You've done 10,000 of them. Like, let's do something different.
10,001. You know that sometimes you just have to feel good about doing something so you can be like, thank you. I messed everything up, but I kicked the shit out of that kick up.
Here's the thing. Your bar is so high when you're learning something new, and you kill it every time I ask you to do something. Yes, you do. I know it's not the best movement you've ever done, that you've ever felt in your life.
No.
But the thing is, you unlock new abilities every time. Like, I feel like I'm
like
pushing
a video
you.
game.
I give you things that I'm like, no, she's not going to do this. Like, oh, it's not going to be weird. And you do it, and then you fucking kill it.
But then I have those moments where I'm like, I can't be that weird. I can't like pull on my t-shirt and like dance.
Yeah, I know. And
that was a hard one today.
In which case, like, that's what happened yesterday. And then I took over and I started doing stuff. And then I felt that same thing. So I was like, okay, cool. And I get the frustration and I get the like, I'm mixed up into 15 different versions that we just talked about.
Yes.
So I feel you on that one. But your high standard make you a great dancer as you are. But like at the same time, it kind of can break your ego a little bit.
Yeah.
Let your ego break. Let your ego break, because like honestly, like every time that happens, you have a breakthrough. Like your fucking movement every time. Every time we come up with something and you're like, and I could see you in your face like freak out.
Yes. This feels very much like the gal I'm working with. Her name's Megan. She's my life coach, my business coach.
Oh.
Yeah, and she's helping me a lot. And one of the things is to, instead of feeling like something becomes a breakdown, let it be a breakthrough. Like you just have to exist in the feeling long enough to get through the other side. Unlike how I prefer to do things where it's like, I think we're done feeling this emotion. So we're just going to talk about it and then move on from there. Because I think that's far safer sometimes, but it doesn't always happen that way. But yes, you do push me as a dancer, and you do request that I try to work outside of my box, which is wonderfully challenging. And mildly frustrating. Like yesterday was exceptionally frustrating because I couldn't like rock step on one or whatever my challenge was yesterday. And that was just based on exhaustion. Okay, so now what are you doing over there?
I am going to just kind of link this out to my page just to make sure people can see.
Do you want me to hold your microphone at the same time?
No. Okay. No. So we have something else in common. The other reason why we're in Germany is because we're technically German visa residents, right?
This is very true.
Talk about your thing about that.
I would say I was one of the first. Can I look at the camera?
Yeah.
So I was one of the
You've done
first.
so good so far.
I know,
and you can
I'm
look
trying.
at the camera.
I'm ready.
Live video interrupted.
But it might just be my stream.
No.
But no, it just might be my stream. So assuming that this is all still working. No, maybe it's not.
I don't know. Okay, I'm going to go check real quick.
Okay. Should I wait?
No, it says it's live. It should be fine.
It still says live? All right. So maybe it's just my computer. So German artist visa. I have one. Mikey has one. Selena has one. And there's a bunch of other instructors or a bunch of other Lindy Hoppers that are also trying to get them. And what's so wonderful about this is it means that you can live in Europe, you can travel freely, and you can pay for healthcare and pay taxes because everybody wants to pay for those in another country as well.
That is the shit that I'm not looking forward to.
Well, it happens to the best of us.
No, seriously.
So I get to pay for healthcare in Europe. And I pay for healthcare in the United States, but maybe not for long because who knows what's going to happen with that one. Good job, GOP. And McCain, thanks. Really appreciate that vote of yours.
Well, he's on his way out.
Yeah, but not without being like, yo, Republicans, somebody needs their health care like me, right? Because he needs his health care.
Oh my God. I'm not going to get into that.
So I'll go back.
There's too many crazy shit on there. I don't want to get into it.
So paying taxes in the States, paying taxes in Germany, paying for healthcare in the States, paying for healthcare in Germany, paying for my savings, my retirement in the United States. And I need to make a decision on whether or not I'm going to be paying for my retirement in Germany. And I'm not quite sure. Part of me says, yes, I should. And then the other part of me says, you're not entirely sure how long you're going to stay. So I'm not sure. Because of that, I don't know if I'll actually qualify to get a 5-year because I need to pass a language test and have paid into retirement for 5 consecutive years. Yeah.
That is some crazy shit. I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Every time we end up talking about the German visa, you always tell me some new confounded bullshit that I need to like remember. Mm-hmm. This is the thing is I'm pretty sure you're just getting it random too. Like they're just giving you, oh yeah, by the way, you have to do this. And I'm sure it's part of their fucking laws and whatnot, but they just tell you like last minute, oh, by the way, if you want this, you have to have these next things. I'm like,
I think some of this is also happening in German and I just don't speak the language enough to be able to get the information.
That's so funny. I mean, like, yeah, because when you told me about the whole process, you were like, oh, bring someone with you that can speak German and English and translate for you. But my whole process in Freiburg was super easy. Like the officers I got, they were
Yeah.
like one of them, both of them, super nice,
Mhm.
and then the other thing was like they spoke great English, and so they were able to communicate everything with me, and I was able to communicate with them. The funny thing is here's the thing: when we talk to each other, because we're American, because we have a long-standing relationship, that we are able to talk to each other like super fast and like not enunciate the best what we want to be. But when it comes to foreigners, you should speak
Slow
slowly,
down, enunciate your words,
everything, give
simplify
them
the
time.
context. Yes.
Yeah, and it's such a funny thing. It's like we do that in class, and like
Yes.
that's something that we're going to talk about later. Is like something in the translation of it all, like something you've learned like that. And then when it came to this whole process, they were so nice, and I did something. I invoked the spirit of Joe Hoffberg, and I just
How
like,
so?
I went tits up, and I went and I went, oh, exactly. I just laughed and like giggled, and I was like, I'm just a silly American. Like, help me out. I want to be in your country.
I'm
Isn't
a
that the
dancer.
craziest? I'm a dancer. Like, you want me to dance for you? They're like, oh no, it'll be fine.
No,
I literally
sir.
said that.
No, sir.
I'll,
Please don't.
I had this whole routine stuck in my head. I was like, gonna do some Charleston. Oh yeah, I was gonna do some swivels. It was gonna be tight.
I was gonna picture you gonna like shim sham on their desk.
No, that's too easy. Shim Sham's too easy.
You and not wanting to take the easy road.
It makes me better.
Giggled, flip your hair,
So
jazz all over their desk.
you were just in Harangue is wrapping up this week.
Yeah.
You were just there. You were there for 2 weeks.
I was there for 2 weeks. Weeks
was it?
2 and weeks 3. It was good. It was very much similar to my other experiences. Except I wasn't hired this time.
Yeah, which is cool, right?
It was really cool because I felt like I had some of the perks of being a guest,
Right.
but I wasn't required to go to work, except that I signed myself up for about 6 hours of rehearsal every single day. So I
Well, that's your
basically
fault.
held down one of the tents, and every time somebody went by, they're like, Joe Hoffberg is still in the tent.
Yeah.
And I was. So I might have actually done more work having not been teaching than had I been. But I did get a lot of rehearsals in, so that was great.
That's good.
The
How many
weather was good.
How many routines were you working on? While you were out there?
2 pro-ams, possible strictly. And I mean, I guess it depends on like how everything goes, or how everything was going to go. And then team routine for ILHC.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
the solo one, right?
Yeah, with the Goyles
Yeah,
from Orange County.
I heard about that.
It's
You know
a
what's funny?
great routine.
I put a few things together, and I was like, I saw Nikki working on something. She's like, team, and it said something about team, and then like I saw Natalia work. I was like, oh, team. And I was like, Joe was like, oh, they're doing a thing together.
Yeah.
Like, I was like sleuthing this whole thing out.
It's a
what-
really great routine, and none of it's my movement,
what
so I
was,
get to work on it.
Oh, that's good. I've been wanting to do that for a while, but no one wants to choreograph for me.
That was the thing. I was like, I get to be somebody's dance biscuit. I was
I wanna do
so
that
excited.
So bad.
I feel like I'm your dance biscuit sometimes because I just have to try to make things happen.
Oh, that sounds
Justin
disgusting.
Timberlake and the Beyonce. Oh my God, all the single ladies with Justin.
No more
we're,
biscuits.
We're the dance biscuits.
Yeah,
oh my
no,
God,
I'll
it's
tell
such
you-
a great clip.
I'll tell you later what biscuit means. Anyways,
Californian. Okay.
I went up to 405 and I parked by the coffee bean and I walked around La Cienega and then I made it to your house.
What are you doing here,
What are you
Mikey?
doing here?
Speaking of which, we almost bought California wine today here in Berlin for €1.99. How did it get here for that
Really
little?
pretty. Stop looking at them.
But they had to know about.
Stop
I was breaking
looking-
the third
stop
wall.
Looking at them.
different than
You're
the
not
Third Reich.
Deadpool. You can't do it.
I'm not Deadpool.
Actually, you could be a Deadpool.
Oh my God, I would love to. Ryan Reynolds.
But that's what breaking the third wall is.
Well,
by the way,
if
when you talk to the
if
crowd,
I get to be a part of his club, all over it.
he's not.
Deadpool or Ryan Reynolds?
A little bit of both. So in Harangue, did you do a lot of social dancing? Was it crazy hectic as it always is?
It was crazy hectic, except if you went right after the meetings and then there was total space in the dance banana.
That is like the trick. If you want to go to Harangue, go
You're going
right
to tell
after the meeting.
everybody the trick right now?
Yeah, because
Okay.
it's only 4 people watching,
okay.
but it's fine.
Totally fine.
So it's when people are just leaving the meeting, they come out. And then they go
get-
straight down
So that they can
to the
get ready for the
banana.
dance.
Yeah, or they leave.
They
They leave
leave.
the whole place,
Yeah.
or they go down the straight dance banana.
Yeah.
And in there, like there's only a couple people doing some dancing stuff, and there's plenty of room, and there's lots of fun dances. So I did the same thing. I was like, dude, let's be there for an hour, dance for a straight hour, like go party a little bit and go hang out, and then come back like at 3 or 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, and then dance a little bit more.
Money.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna do this one thing. I'm gonna call timeout on the recording,
T.O.
but I'm gonna switch the video to my feed as opposed to the Brightside feed and see what happens.
All right, let's do that. Do I still stay on this?
Yeah, I'm just gonna cut this out anyways.
Money, 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 money. Rihanna's song is so hot, by the way. It was interrupted again.
Which one?
Bitch gonna have my money.
Oh, that's an old song then.
Look, I'm a little bit behind in music, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Bright Side with Mikey and Rachel. Rachel's not here right now, but Tits McGee is.
And that's like no joke.
I am feeling delightful, thank you very much. In fact, I believe I'm sporting a yellowtail. That's the wine that we're drinking. Are you back?
Yeah, we're back. All right. Cool. So, we're going to jump into the topic now.
Okay, what's the topic?
Topic is, I'm not sure what the name of it is, but it's basically because me and you are both professional Lindy Hop, professional swing dance teachers, choreographers, instructors,
guest Germans.
dancers, guest Germans, resident Germans, actually.
Resident Germans.
We're residents.
Yeah.
And on top of the whole idea of being professional, we've had to live life, a large majority of our adult lives on the road.
Yeah.
And so what I want to get into with the topic this week is like talk about like the ups and downs, the pros and cons of living this life. And also
living la vida loca.
Yeah, because if people are interested in doing this, in which this is one of your like recent kind of like last couple 3, 4, 5 years at least, like investing in
next generation,
encouraging the next generation of dancers and professionals to come up and do this whole thing. But like even before that, I think a lot of people put a lot of negative like press, a lot of negative ideas out there of saying like, oh, you want to do this is stupid. Like, this is horrible. Like, I'm doing it only because like, well, I've been doing it for a while now, but like, you shouldn't do this. Or I feel like it was like that. Let's say 6, 7 years ago.
Okay.
And then like you started speaking up and I started speaking up, a couple other people started speaking up and saying like, actually, if you want to do it, who are we to say no? But here's the things you should know.
Right.
Right. So what we're going to get into today is we're going to go first off with, what was the moment you decided to go pro, as it were?
To go pro. I think it's when Kevin St. Laurent asked me if I wanted to move to Pittsburgh and train and then possibly take a gig or two with him.
What year was that?
This was in 2007. And we had hung out in Montpellier for a little bit of time. This was in March 2007. And it was right before I left to go back to finish my university degree. And Kevin and I were hanging out. We taught a couple of classes on accident. We were not scheduled to, but his partner left. And then afterwards, we went to go do some aerials. He just said, hey, do you want to like try some aerials? And at the time I was thinking, oh, this will be thrilling. Yes, you bet. And after almost face planting in a pile of French poop, I seemed like I must have held it together well enough because he said, well, what are you doing once you graduate from school? And I said, I don't really know, but I'll probably go get a job because, that's what you do after you go to school. And he said, well, what do you think about, dancing full time? I was just like, is that even a reality? And based on his life, yeah. So we stayed in contact and then I got invited for a gig. And then after that, he's like, so what do you think about moving to Pittsburgh? And we'll see if we can put something together. I can't promise anything because I don't have anything lined up. But if it works out, maybe something will come of it. I was just like,
Me?
I felt like,
remember that we're on a podcast as well as.
Oh, they can't. Oh,
yeah.
Well, okay.
So
that was
you can't just get like.
I can't like point at thing. Okay, I was doing my French mime impression.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like, me? You want to dance with me? I could do that? You would want to dance with me? Because here's the funny thing. I remember Kevin when I was a teenager and he was going to go to Australia to go teach. This was, who knows what year this was. And I remember thinking, I'm really good. You should totally take, I think it was maybe after Maggie Moon or something like that.
Oh, yeah. Because you guys were you guys were still in San Francisco.
Yeah. And it was, I'm pretty sure it was before Carla. So I remember thinking, you should totally ask me. I'm going to be great someday. I know this. And I was like, of course he didn't choose me. And then he ended up, I'm pretty sure, dancing with Carla.
Yeah.
And it was just like, oh, well, yeah, she's a professional. So
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not too surprised. So then years later, when I got asked to do this, it was like, oh my God, I'm so excited.
Did you think
try
about,
to be cool.
Did you think about that moment where you were like, wait, like I already told you should dance with me? Did you think about that?
A little bit.
Shut up. Yes, you did.
I did.
No, I know
was
that.
just like,
I know. When you do that little like, you're like holding back a real
I was
answer.
just like, is this real? I didn't believe it to be true. I had a moment of Strictly Ballroom where it was the blonde partner saying, I want Ken Hastings to walk into this room right now and say his partner broke both her legs and he wants to dance with me. And it just kind of felt like, well, nobody had to break their legs. They just ended a partnership. And now he showed up and wants to dance with me. But Kevin's not a drunk. So like that made that way better than Ken Hastings.
Exactly. What year was that?
2007. So when I
2007.
finally went to Pittsburgh, it was September 2007.
And you remember it. You know it.
Yeah, because it was after I graduated from university.
And now you guys are going to celebrate your 10
We're going to celebrate our
years.
10 years.
so crazy.
Yeah. So party time in Bulgaria.
Yeah.
Sophia, you're all invited.
I don't know if that's working anymore, but we'll see what's happening.
Yeah.
Either way.
Working? Yeah.
Yeah?
What's the question?
Okay, it's just being stalled out right here.
Okay.
Anyways, I think for me,
Yeah.
the other thing with the moment when I decided to go pro was like, I was working in the hospital and I was working for my parents' elder care home.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I think I was like cleaning somebody's ass.
And
And I was like,
graphic.
I think I want to do this. Like it was,
What year was
it was
this?
socially after 2009, around 2009, 2010, maybe,
Mm-hmm.
where like a couple things happened, like Frankie 95.
Yep.
And then 2010, like just some things happened in my life that I was just like, you know what? I need to make a choice. Like the universe is like telling me like, you need to figure this shit out. And if you really want this one thing, which is like go pursue dancing as a career and go further as far as you can, then you know, like get rid of the things that you say is already blocking you.
Mm.
So like I stopped working for my family.
Mm-hmm.
I basically got rid of the house I was living in.
Mm-hmm.
And then I only had the job at the hospital to pay my bills, and then dancing. So like I worked at the hospital 3 to 5 times a week,
Mm-hmm.
12-hour shifts.
Yeah.
And then the other times I wasn't working there, I would just go to the studio and like practice with Nikki, or like practice by myself, or like do stuff by myself.
Did you have a girlfriend in the picture at the time?
Yeah,
or like did that?
Yeah, exactly. That's what happened. It was when I was dating somebody and like stuff started to go south, and I just was in the mind space, and I was in a horrible mind space, and I didn't know what to do, and then I was just like, you know what, fuck everything. Like if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. And then one thing after another, kind of like things started letting go, and I was like, okay, well, this is a clear path.
Right.
This is what I'm gonna do. And I was so assured about it that I didn't feel emotional about it anymore. And it could have been that I was like a little bit like stunned and cold about everything, but at the same time, like I told my family and friends, I was like, you know what, like this is what I want to do. This is what I want to try to pursue. And like that was back in like 2011 2010, 2011. Like those 3 years from 2009 to 2011, like those are the 3 years that like I was really thinking about it. It took me a long time.
What who supported you in making those decisions, or like helping you do that?
Not anyone really.
Mm-hmm.
Not really. I mean, like I would say like Nikki helped a lot. Like just kind of like being like, all right, let's keep dancing. Let's keep doing these things.
Mm-hmm.
And then I remember in like 2011, 2012, I started traveling more. And so like the only support that would really happen was like everybody in the community just being like, wow, I see you going out more. I see you going to a contest more. I see you like, oh, you're teaching here. Oh, you're teaching a lot now. Or, you know, like it's a funny thing where people, and I think you probably got this like up until a certain point where you're like, people will come to you and go, oh, you know, but what else do you do for work? And I'm like, this is what I do. I'm a professional dancer.
Yeah.
And they're like,
yeah.
huh. Like it's kind of hurtful, but at the same time, like, oh yeah, that would be in somebody else's like freshly minted mind in this community. They would be like, oh yeah, of course you wouldn't understand that there was like this whole subculture that you're a part of now.
That was actually a big turning point for me as well. That took a lot of years for me to not be offended or affected by those questions. Now, when people say, so what else do you do? I say, no, I do this full time, and it doesn't emotionally wreck me, where before it felt like this guts me every time this question is asked, because I had not come to grips with it, or I had not been able to justify to myself that I deserved to be a dancer, that I wanted to be a dancer, that I could be a dancer. Like I had so many blocks in front of me. I think it was like 6 years in before I was like, I guess I'm a dance instructor. Like I feel like I'm more than that, but actually to say I teach dancing for a living. It took about 6 years before I was able to actually go, this is what I do. And it was because my mother asked me, not because I put it together myself.
Yeah. And it was rough. Like even to this day, like my mom still goes like, she's so proud of me. She's now gotten the hold of like the share button on Facebook. So she'll like share like photo albums from like random events that we go to.
Yeah.
And like just boom right there. And like there's the whole album on there.
Yeah.
And so it's really funny sometimes, but
yeah,
she'll still go to me. It's like, so you think about going back to school? I'll pay for everything, you know? So she's still
some
so
polite
sweet.
encouragement.
Yeah, she's still so fucking sweet about it. But I mean, like, yeah, I mean, after a certain time, after a certain while, like after watching for a while, like my parents were like, okay, well, seem to be doing all right.
When did you feel like that for yourself? Like when were you like, this is the moment that I actually accepted that I was a dancer?
Oh, I mean, like that was for 2009 to
Okay.
2011.
Oh, so it was through
like,
through
those 3 years.
It was I am
3 years.
and I'm going to be.
Yeah, but it was like I am.
Mm-hmm.
I are. You know, like it was through those 3 years of the transition of like thinking to myself, this is a hobby, to thinking of this as a work and artistry and goal setting thing for myself. So, and it was so hard because it was like so much depression because it was like, am I going to do this? Yes, no. Every other
Can
hour,
I
like,
do this?
yes, like it's so many different levels of like feeling it out. And like, but by the end of it, like as soon as like I was on a plane, I was like, I'm doing it. This is it. It's happening. Like there's no stopping me now. It's like, don't stop me now.
From having a good time, from having a ball. Balls. It's, so
what was your first event that you professionally worked at?
So professionally worked at, got hired, was for Swinglandia.
Where's that?
In Kyiv. Well, at the time it was outside of Kyiv, Ukraine, in a city that I would not be able to say, at like an old Soviet boys summer camp.
God.
Yeah. And so this was in beginning of May 2007. So Kevin and I had yet to have an official partnership, but it was our first official gig together.
I remember because you left out of LAX and I drove you there.
And it was, and it was the week before midterm. So when I came back, I also had to take all of my midterms.
You were so worried. I think you were like fucking studying in the car when I was driving you up, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I was really concerned about my grades because I wasn't going to be a dancer. I was going to like go get a real job.
You were gonna work. Do you remember what you were gonna work for?
I was going to be in a
Washington
bank.
Mutual.
I did. I worked for Washington Mutual
and
for like a year and a half. And then they fired me, and then later they fell apart. See Washmoo?
Dodged
See how it goes?
Stop looking at them.
Washmoo needs to know.
Swear to God, you know what? This is going to be, I'm going to do a supercut.
Do you ever drink on the job?
I'm going to do shut up. I'm going to do a supercut, like at the end of Little Rascals, the movie that came out in the 90s.
Supercut?
Yeah. And then I'm going to come out at the end of Little Rascals, the movie that came out in the 90s. Darla, which is the main female lead, little girl. They had to keep telling her not to look at the camera. Don't look at the camera. Don't look at the camera. Don't look at the camera. Like there's like it's like a 10-minute montage of her. Don't look at the camera. Don't look at the camera. And she would like keep looking at the camera. So I'm gonna do that to you every time you look at them.
Okay.
Yeah. Stop it.
I didn't.
Yes,
my
you
eyes
did.
were. It's the
just look at Johnny.
portal.
Look at Johnny. Look at Johnny over here.
Mr. Cash.
Mr. Cash.
Pleasure.
The man in black. Okay. So yeah. So how was that event? Swinglandia.
It was incredibly interesting because it was really my first. It was my first gig. So
I know, but interesting.
Well, so here's why it was interesting. So fly in, I'm jet lagged. I meet Kevin there. We get picked up by people that I don't know, and it used to be really strange. And now I'm like, of course, somebody I don't know is going to come pick me up.
We'll get more into those like realizations later for sure. Like that idea of like, who is this stranger picking me up that said they're there for me?
Right? Can they find me? Do they know what I look like? Of course they don't. So
they have a
we
flip
get
phone. It looks like a burner.
Yeah, yes, because cell phones are not what they are today. So you could never find me. You just have to set a meeting place, and you'd be like, I'll wait until somebody shows up. So Kevin and I are there together. And I say nothing when we go through border control, which I was just like, I don't know if I'm allowed to be here. Like, I didn't know what the deal was. So, well, it didn't matter because they weren't going to talk to a woman anyways. So I was able to go through. We wait. We get picked up. A guy named Philip comes to pick us up, and the back of his car is full. It's got like a tire and like who knows what else in the trunk. So we have our luggage in the car. No problem. We get dropped off at a house. And we're super jet lagged. Our sleep schedule is all over the place. I think we go to bed at like 2 or 3 in the morning. The next morning at like 6:30, we have to get up and we are on TV, but we're super jet lagged. So then it's Philip, Teras, his wife and me and Kevin
Vitalia?
with our luggage. No, not Vitalia. In the car. So it's 5 of us in a car. All of our luggage is on top of us. We go do this thing. I have to bring my purse into the recording room because they didn't say it was going to be safe in the dressing room, which was interesting, but all right. And then, so that whole thing happens. It's like 8 a.m. because we've been up for a while now. And then we start driving to camp. An hour into the drive, we pick somebody up on the side of the road. We're not in a big car. We're in one of these like little Ladas. So we pick somebody up. So then we all are sitting sideways this way to stuff in. We're also like, well, where's this person going to go? I was like in the back seat with you. So then we drive for another hour. We get to a grocery store. Everybody like piles out, puts the stuff back in. One person waits with the car. We go grocery shopping. We buy toilet paper and soap and a whole bunch of other things. And I was thinking, where are you taking us? Like, why do we need toilet paper? Why do we need toilet? Why do we need soap? What are you not telling us? I'm buying potato chips. Like, I just knew, and like 2 beers because I was old enough to drink. So why not?
Yeah.
So we drive another like 45 minutes. I was like, where are we? My passport and all of my belongings are basically with me. They're going to murder us. And it was a bit of a panic. So we finally get there. We're basically in the middle of nowhere. We find this cute little place that we're staying in. There's no toilet seat on our toilet. There's brown water coming out of the shower. The beds are like drinkable. In this kind of shape instead of like flat. Or mine had a wooden, it was a cot like that hadn't been changed. It was a cup. Yeah. So Kevin slept in a cup and I slept on a slat of wood.
We call those the automatic cuddle.
So Kevin got automatically cuddled.
Yeah.
And then because I was living in Southern California at the time, at most I could do like 60-degree weather, like maybe 55.
Sure.
Because I had a baby fat puffy coat that was like a crop.
Yeah. Oh, I totally feel you on that.
But it was 30 that weekend because it snowed. I was like, it's May, it's snowing. I'm from Southern California and I'm blue. Like I had such a hard time.
That's basically 0 Celsius.
Yes, that was Fahrenheit.
Yeah, so it's 0 degrees, and you've been in warm weather now for the past like 4 years.
Yes.
At that point.
So it just...
Yeah, it was not ready for that.
No, I was not ready for that.
The Joe Hoffy was not ready for it.
Not even close. And Kevin and I taught 17 hours that weekend, having not done more than 2 hours of classes previously. Right. And I obviously had nothing to bring other than like, hey, I can like rock step on 1, 2. Pretty consistently.
Sure.
We taught aerials, which was questionable. And we put a routine together that weekend. Mm-hmm. So it was me and Kevin, a pile of Swedes and some other people. But I mean, it was just such a bizarre experience because I was like, there's Leonard Westerlund. Like I remember thinking, these are people that I've seen before on stage. Like it was crazy. And then
I've seen on the internet.
Yes.
There was no YouTube. It was the internet. The World Wide Web, you might say.
It was Glitter Lisa.
Glitter Lisa.
You don't know about Glitter Lisa? That's where a lot of us used to get our videos back in the day.
I don't remember Glitter Lisa.
Glitter Lisa. You might be able to look it up.
Jive Junction was for me.
I wasn't as active on it because you're a Southerner. I'm a Northerner.
Yeah, exactly.
So that was the first gig, and it was very interesting. And I told Kevin at the end, I said, if like, are all the gigs this way? Because if so, I'm not quite sure if dancing professionally is for me. He's just like, no, this is a cultural experience. Yeah. So I was like, cultural experience. Okay.
It's good. You started from the bottom. Now you're here.
And
you started with the
and it's been so wonderful because I've gotten to go back to Swinglandia many times and to see the growth of the camp and to see the country change as well, which has been an incredible thing.
The other one that's really funny. I love how you like here's the cherry on top, by the way, just in case.
Totally.
But the other thing is what I've heard. I've never been to Swinglandia. I've been to Kiev.
It's a pretty magical camp.
Kiev is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Swinglandia, I've heard some crazy shit about. Moscow's Christmas camp is another one I've heard crazy shit about that I haven't never gone to. And at the same time, I'm like, I'm okay with that because like my first event was like a twofer. Like I asked Laura Keat to do a first dance event with me. Like I was like, someone asked me, and I was like, okay, I guess.
In that voice?
It was, I was like, okay. It was like he called me. He tried to call me. He tried to get this guy named Daniel Hatkoff, and he was the leader of the swing dance club at Oberlin College in like outside Cleveland, Ohio. And like literally is one of those places in like the Great Plains of America where it's like there's Cleveland, then there's nothing. Then you see that point over there that you can't see. Past that, that's Oberlin. You know, like the never-ending horizon. You're like past that.
Like the never-ending story.
Yeah. No, but no, nothing.
But horizon.
No, nothing.
The nothing.
No, the nothing.
I watched that on the plane the other day. It was a great movie.
Still good, right? Holds up.
Yeah, it totally does.
I know. So we do this. He calls me for like a couple weeks, and I'm like kind of forgetting his call, like whatever. Okay. Yeah. And then finally, like he calls me, and I'm like, okay, cool. Like, what do you want to talk about? It's like, oh, I want to ask you to teach this dance. I was like, teach. The fuck are you talking about? And it was like recently after Showdown, 2004. So this is like 2005. Yeah, it's like 2005. Right before, no, it was like right before. Yeah,
This is like your first professional gig, or this is the first gig that you took?
first gig I took, because this is the one that stands out in my mind because it's so
okay.
crazy.
Okay.
And so I was like, he's like, do you know who you could teach with? I was like, I don't know. I mean, like,
I know this
I guess-
awesome babe
I
named
know
Laura
this-
Keith.
Yeah, I mean, I did this contest with her and I met her. Like, we danced pretty good. Like, I guess. Little did I know she was actually like already teaching and doing shit like in Denver and Colorado and like whatnot. And she was killing it. Like, she's already like a well-informed and well-seasoned teacher, because she was already teaching like ballroom stuff too. And she was like teaching wedding couples and shit. And like that's where you like cut your teeth in the dance world, like when you really want to make it. And she went through those normal channels, as we would say, as opposed to like our subculture swing dance channels, right?
Right.
And in that case, like I like just fell on her, like going like, oh my God, like you need
What
to
are
teach
we
me how to
doing?
teach. I remember like I could not fucking count. I couldn't count. Like I was like, all right, everybody, we're gonna do this Charleston thing with this little thing. Okay, ready? 5, go. 5, 9, banana, go. You know, like it was so horrible, and I just remember being like hiding that thing with just like arrogance and chauvinism and aggressiveness,
All
like,
of the good things.
oh my God, it was so bad. Like I just hit it completely. So now that I feel like when I see a teacher like that, I'm like, oh, you feel insecure about something. I feel you on that. I'm going to talk to you afterwards. It's okay. Show them your insecurities, because it's going to be accepted better because they're super insecure.
Yeah. And it can get better.
It can, but it will get better.
Yeah.
It gets better for sure. And that was the first one. But like right before
Did they fly you in?
Yeah.
Did they put you in a bed?
They flew us in, and they put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people in a 2-bed hotel room that was 45 minutes away from the venue.
No.
It was like the only hotel. It was the only hotel like in Oberlin College, which was like available. Then it was like further away. So it was really, really funny. And let's see, 2000.
Oh, the gigs we took.
2004. I was 19 or 20, because I was 20. I was 20. Yeah. 2004. I was
Carry the one.
Yeah. I was 19. Sorry. 2005. I was 20.
Good.
And so I wasn't able to drink, but I snuck in a couple drinks, and I got drunk, and I like got so tired and like passed out at the dance already, like on that first one. But
on your first gig?
Yeah. Because like everybody else all of us were doing it. And, like,
everybody else was doing it.
Everybody was doing it. And I remember dancing and being like, this is what it feels like dance drunk. This is horrible. Oh my God. And like hiding it again with aggressiveness and chauvinism and just being all out.
Yeah,
like
the softer side.
Oh my God. It was such a shame. And I remember just going like, wow, this is really, really bad.
Yeah.
And my cousin Josh did that same event with me.
He really?
He did it with us back then too. And
before
then,
he was married.
Yeah, but wait, a long time ago. Obviously, it was 2004.
To that absolute babe.
And then what's her name?
Haley.
No, Desiree.
Millie.
She was there too.
Millie was there
Barkley,
as well.
with Barkley
And Barkley.
Yeah.
In Oberlin College.
Yeah.
They came from Nevada.
All 3 of us. They paid our way out, so it was good, and they paid us and whatnot, and it was great.
Dang.
And then from that gig, like Laura's like, hey, I had this like other thing I was gonna do in Nashville. I was like, great, let's go to Nashville. And it was my first time in Nashville, and the same thing. Like I got too drunk and like, but like it was like after the weekend, and I was like so stupid and like weird. Oh man, the things I got into back then that I was like, this is so much fun. I'm like living the life.
Living la vida loca.
Oh no, I have to like teach 5, 9 banana ice cream.
If only you had a mentor, Mikey.
No, I mean like you didn't make those mistakes either.
I mean, no. Well, so I made some of those, but it was a little bit different because I had Kevin, and Kevin was somebody that I had admired since I was a teenager. So I kind of felt like, don't fuck this up. Like, this is your big fucking chance. So I was on really good behavior.
Yeah, he was the one going crazy.
Not then. I think then he was, we were both 2 squares that like knew how to put t-shirts and pants on, but didn't know how to match things.
Not so much, yeah.
We were still new, but I was trying my best to
you were
like.
still wearing like what was her name? Dark Emily?
Dark Emily. I think so.
Something like that. It was one of the brands.
Mad Emily.
Something like that.
Angry Girl or something.
It was one of the brands from Hot Topic.
Yep.
And you were like crazy about it.
You totally.
Had so many. You're like, it's my name.
It's so exciting.
Yeah, I remember that.
So no, I mean, like it was a little different for me. Had I been working with a peer, it would have been different. But because I looked up to Kevin as a mentor, and we would also check in afterwards, and I would get feedback. So because of that, I was just like, okay, I've got to like little Miss like straight A student over here was trying to be like, okay, I'm gonna like do this right because I needed to be perfect. So because my inner perfectionist needed, where do you need this to be? Here, there.
Have you ever been in front of a microphone before?
Apparently not. Is it like this? Is it like this?
Like that.
Like this.
Yeah.
Does that
like
work?
That, yeah.
All right. So my inner perfectionist, was not having an easy time failing at things. So I tried to learn as quickly as I could. And I would watch Kevin. I would never say anything our first couple classes because I was too nervous. But then I would be like, okay, monkey see, monkey do. So for me, I felt like I had a really solid mentor.
It's really funny because like the inner perfectionist is like still well and thriving inside you.
What are you talking about?
I would say completely. Like, I mean, it's something that drives you, but I think it's like it's a double-edged sword inside of you.
Totally.
Sure.
Absolutely.
I mean, we've talked a little bit about it in general. Like, it's one of those things that I mean, everyone has an ego. Everyone has a fear of failing, and that can stall them from living any sort of life they want to be living.
That's the big one.
But at the same time, like I think a person like yourself, and in some cases for myself as well, I think use it to push themselves forward into other ventures others may not even go into, and then somewhat succeed, or at least feel like you're succeeding enough.
Truth. Hashtag truth with Mikey Pedroza.
Yeah, it happens. Stop looking at them. God, you can't help yourself, can you?
I didn't
Stop
make
it.
it. I
You did
made
it
it.
again.
No, my eyes flitted to the gummies.
Stop it. Stop it.
Totally. That's
Just
where the gummies
stop
were.
It.
Do you want one?
No, put your perfectionist down.
You don't want one?
Put it down. You failed this time. It's fine.
Oh,
okay.
I did not fail.
It's okay.
That's like an A- effort.
Take a sip. Take a sip and reload.
I'm gonna have a high heel.
I think that is high heel. We're eating gummies, guys, and they're in the shape of high heels and beasts and unicorns. That was unicorn. It was
where's
unicorn.
the packaging?
I threw it away.
Oh,
so next thing.
Next thing.
Best gig you ever got and worst gig you ever got.
I'm chewing on a high heel right now, so let me have you start.
That's a unicorn.
That was a high heel.
Yeah, that's a unicorn. I just talked about it. It's a unicorn like that. This is not riveting podcast material.
Sorry, we're looking at a gummy. We're looking at a red gummy. Mikey just ate my non-unicorn.
All right.
That was a high heel.
Best gig.
Is that a bra?
And worst gig you've ever done. I know you're trying to skate the question. It's fine.
These are my sunglasses.
I'm going to make you answer this question.
Okay.
Best gig.
I can tell you
your favorite gig.
I can tell
That's
you
what best
favorite
gig really
organizer.
Means. Best gig ever.
I can't think of a best gig ever.
What's the best gig you went to? It was like, damn, everything was like taken care of, and like I feel good about that event. It could be recent. It doesn't have to be like ever. I mean, it's hard because after like 10 years of doing this.
Yeah, there's been a lot of gigs.
Yeah. In recent memory, best gig ever.
Well, okay, here's a great gig. I feel like I have to my perfectionist says no, I have to think about it. I have to nail this answer. So winter jump, I don't remember what year, 2000 something or other.
Oslo, right? Norway?
Norway.
Yeah.
And it was the year I was living in Spain. So what year though? Maybe 3 years ago.
Ooh, yeah. I don't
remember.
Right?
Maybe
12? 13?
Maybe 13. And because I had been living in Spain, it was January or February. Mm-hmm. And it's not that cold in Spain, as you know.
Nice.
But it gets low.
Yeah.
And we didn't have so maybe this is where we differ. So for me, I was like, it's 55.
You were in Barcelona.
I was in Barcelona. It was cold for me.
Yeah.
And because we lived on a bottom floor of an apartment, there was no direct sunlight into it. And it just was really hard to stay warm.
Yeah.
I was freezing all the time. And I get into Oslo and we're staying in this beautiful hotel. Everything works. I have my own room. I'm not sleeping on a bunk bed and I'm warm. I'm warm for the first time in 6 weeks. And there's water pressure from my shower and there's food that I can eat. And there's people who want to learn and come to class on time and maximize. And I was just like, oh my God.
Because who doesn't come to class on time? Spanish people.
Funny looking faces are happening right now. So it was just the juxtaposition of that experience from living in Spain.
Right.
Just the difference was so great that I was like, wow, I fucking love it here. And I have a bunch of friends up in Norway. So that was fun to see them. And the Wallflower, I think they're called the Wallflowers. I have to look them up. They have a girls team and a boys team
up
there. And oh God, they're such great dancers. And like
Yeah.
everybody's so pretty up there and everybody's so kind. And one of the gentlemen up there brews his own beer. So we got to have some of that. Like
Nice.
everything about that event was so great. And I got to perform with Laura that weekend. She had a routine that I had learned and I had practiced it because I was trying to make my arms look just like her. And then she changed everything. And I was like, Laura, this took me hours to look like you. And now you don't look like you either.
Whose real fault is that?
I was learning how to use my arms. I knew that they went out.
You were learning to use her arms, and her arms change.
But I didn't know that. I hadn't watched enough videos of her.
I mean,
Look,
no,
some of
she's
this,
a person. She's a person. People change.
Well, no, choreography is set. You tell me where my arms are in choreography. You say they're here, and then they're here, and then I have to throw my elbows and stick my hands up. I listen to you.
Fine, that's great.
You should
But
start listening to yourself, too.
But then the choreographer gets to change it.
But I didn't get the update. No, I didn't get the update. My perfectionist says no.
Oh, shots fired.
No.
Stop looking
Barely.
at them.
I looked over there.
No, you didn't.
I did too.
Perfectionists
You can check
don't
the
lie.
video. Perfectionists can lie. I don't know what you're saying. Drink some more wine. I'm going to have a high heel.
All right. So that does sound really cool. Yeah.
It was a great, the dancing was good. The music was good.
The
Performing it with
Scandinavians really know
Laura.
how to do
The
it.
hotel was good.
Yeah.
The food was excellent. The fire water or whatever they have you drink is amazing. Just the whole thing. So like if you ever get a chance to go to Winter Jump, have you been?
No, I've never been up there.
It's a great gig. And the people up there are so
They
awesome.
are. And the organizer who runs it now, like good buddy of mine, he's like a good guy. So like I've heard nothing but good things since the other guy took over, and like I heard that it's even gotten better. So it's amazing. I think the last event that I really went to, like that was really great, like one of the best, like man, like it's great to have like no, don't do that. I know, but don't do that. Don't point. No, it's really hard in editing.
Oh.
Inner perfectionist, get it fucking right.
Okay, I
Jesus.
didn't know. I haven't had to edit this before.
Yeah, but you don't point a microphone at another microphone.
Is this like a boy thing?
It's a boy robot thing.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, I get it.
The hips don't touch. Okay, so no,
More wine.
I think the best. Honestly, like the first time I went to Harang
Mm-hmm.
and like being able to stay there like a long time, and they're like, "Oh yeah, well, how's you forever?" I was like,
Forever.
like the whole time I want to be
Forever,
here.
ever?
But that was super cool. Like, and just something about even it just had the creature comforts, just enough.
Mhm.
Where it made sense to like, oh man, this is really great. Like I could stay here for a month. Like this is amazing. But I think honestly, like one of the best events I ever went to wasn't because of that stuff. Like it was because of the people and like being there. It was Tokyo.
Oh, I was going to say Lindy Shock. Okay, that's what I thought. Okay,
because I didn't work there.
I'm going to change my answer.
It was Tokyo. Going to Tokyo and working there. Oh my god, all the people there. Are
Who did you work for?
Super lovely.
Was it Amore?
Yeah, Amore and Lulu.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the swing jack people, like they are so awesome, and like they were great, of course, but like everybody else too, like they were just so nice and grateful. And I think, like for the most part, like the Koreans are somewhat like that, but like I mean, except every once in a while they're a little bit rude with the things they say things, but like the
Some cultural differences.
yeah, some cultural differences
that
I'm
don't
just
translate.
Like, that's
Exactly.
mean. Don't that's stupid. Shut up. Stop. And then but the Japanese were just so humble and so gracious, and like with their time too, like they were like always invited us places, and I was just like, yeah, let's go do this. And then I would talk to them and chat with them. They drink like sake, but they don't like get like wasted. They get like
Unlike
they get okay.
Americans.
Yeah, and like Koreans. And
Do the Koreans get wasted? I
Yeah,
don't think
the
so.
Koreans get
I think
wasted.
we've been hanging with different crews of the Koreans.
No, man, the Koreans get wasted. They do.
Oh, because you
They're
ran the
known.
Soju Jack and Jill.
No, I didn't. I never ran that. No.
Did you participate in it?
No, I only watched it. But no, I'm not
Okay.
even talking about that. Like in general, like I think it's okay for their culture to drink. It's just totally fine. It's like in the daytime. And again, it's the juxtaposition of like daytime.
Nighttime.
We are straight, and we go to work, and we go and do our work, and we go home. And then at nighttime, it's funny, like going to the subway in Tokyo.
Daytime.
In Tokyo, like when you go on the subway or the metro, in the daytime, no one talks to each other. It's very silent. You only hear like the whistles, and you only hear and the moving of the trains. And then at nighttime, and you see one friend consoling another friend, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I bet like that guy just broke up or something like that, or something. Like it's just like
Yeah.
easy to see. Like before, like I have no idea who these people are. Like They could be anybody. And then at nighttime, they're like, oh, we're all the same people.
Right.
We're all going out to get drunk to forget the day.
I am so jealous. I've never made it to Tokyo, even though I lived in Japan for 1 year, and it was a great memory.
And when I was telling you this earlier in the year, I remember I was telling you, I was like, oh my God, Japan. Have you ever been? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
You lived there for a year.
There, yes. But I never made it to Tokyo. Like my dream is to go teach in Tokyo at some point.
Yeah.
So be invited to go and teach.
No,
well, I can't make it happen.
I'm gonna keep going back. I told them, I was like, you guys ever want this to happen again? I will come back and I will stand here. Oh my God, it was so much fun. It's a whole other world.
Jealous.
World.
Okay, I have to amend my answer because now I've thought about it a little bit
of your
more.
best?
Yeah.
Okay, go
so
for it.
I will also give a small shout out to Harang. I've had the best time at Harang.
Yeah.
And I've had the worst time at Harang. So we'll have that as a placeholder. But otherwise, Lindy Shock a couple of years ago. Yeah. Lindy Shock, hands down. The classes, like the quality of the students and like the level of like the invitational track that you're able to teach. So they're mostly the instructors in Europe that you get to work with, which is a huge honor. I would say for me, that's been a huge honor. But the live music and the dancing and just being able to stay out all night and to just dance until I couldn't dance anymore because I just ran out of calories. So I'd have to feed myself, like wait a couple minutes and then I could go back in. So I have never danced as hard or as long and still got up for classes. I felt like it was in another world. So every year Lindy Shock's a bit different. This last year was totally different because I was like dealing with sexual assault stuff, which is not cool, but it was really good that the community was coming together for it. Otherwise, in years past, the dancing at Lindy Shock has just been one of those banana pants good sorts of things. The shocker.
I was going to tell you something. I forgot it.
Harang?
Oh, yeah. I love how you think you run out of things.
What do you mean?
You run out of
like
blood
wine?
sugar. You run out of calories.
I
you
did.
run out of hydration.
I did.
That's not true.
How?
Actually.
Okay, what's a better way to say that? Help me
You're
reword
hungry. That's it.
Okay, I guess that is another way to...
It's not running out of calories. Your body has plenty of calories. It'll never run out.
I was so hungry.
Unless you stop eating for a week. In this case, that's when you run out of calories.
It had just been a couple hours.
Yeah.
I think I had eaten at 10 and at that point it was 5 a.m. and I was just
still
like...
don't run out of calories. You just get hungry.
So hungry.
You just get hungry. Yeah.
So I was not functioning.
It's good to eat.
I just forgot.
It's good to eat.
I normally don't forget to eat, but I did at that point. I was just dancing so hard. Oh my God. Much good dancing.
It's just funny because I'm
an adult and I should know how to feed myself at this point. Yeah,
and
hilarious.
You should know the difference between fake news.
My mother tells me that I ran out of calories, so I believe her.
Real news. That's the worst. I'm gonna ask your mom about that next time. All right.
I think
worst gig. Worst gig ever. Come on, that's got to stand out.
I can tell you things that make a worst gig. Like I definitely like that list. I know.
What was the worst gig you ever did? You don't have to name names. I won't make you name names, but you have to talk about the story. Like there has to be a story behind it. I know you do have a couple.
Well, one of the worst gigs was Harang one year.
Yeah.
But that's because everybody had broken up with me that year. Like I had at that point, only 2 boyfriends had like dumped me that year. And it was raining like the entire time. And all of my girlfriends that year had all gotten broken up with as well. So not only was it raining, but the mosquitoes were awful that year. And so we were under...
My 2 boyfriends broke up with me because they found out about each other.
No, one was in February and then the other one was in July. So I'd gotten broken up with that year in February.
So
I got broken up with like 3 days into Harang.
Yeah.
And then a bunch of my girlfriends had just gotten dumped by their boyfriends. And so we would all like get together and just like cry together. It was all, and you know how I feel about crying. So it was awful. It rained. There was shitty mosquitoes. And everybody was sad and it was awful. And it rained so hard that the electricity went out. And why that's terrible at Harang is that the plumbing runs on electricity. There's a lot of people making stinkies and not able to flush them down. Lots of shit, lots of tears.
Sounds horrible.
It was a rough year.
I don't think I was there for that year.
Maybe
I missed that one. But I remember like I feel like I was there the year that like it started to rain like pretty consistently every year. And it was just like, this is real strange. Like, it's never rained. It's bad. I think one of the worst events I ever went to was probably what was it called? It was one of the Italian Sylvia events. Everything was just running super late, and everybody got paid at weird times, and and like the show was just everything about it was just super weird. Getting there was hard. I mean, that wasn't because of the events thing, but it's all a culmination of things, and I was just like, this is the worst thing. I don't want to leave. I don't want to go back to this. Like it was like. It was one of those ones where it was like it makes you question. You're like, maybe I don't want to do this. You know?
Why have I made these life choices?
Yeah, exactly.
So for me, the combination of like, if when I get picked up at the airport, the person who picks me up has no space in their car, they're like, what? You have luggage? It's like, yeah, where did you think I was coming from? Somewhere. You're picking me up at the airport, and now you're surprised I come with luggage, and your trunk is full.
I think that's just a thing. I think the European. No, I think the Europeans in general, like they're like, well, you can just pack everything in your backpack and then travel like that. I'm like,
they're better packers than I am, apparently.
Look, man. Like the reason why is because I like my toiletries, and I like
toilet
to feel
paper
fresh.
and soap.
Yeah, that's a different thing.
So there was that. Then staying too far away from an event. So if like there's a 45-minute commute,
yeah, exactly.
That super sucks.
Yeah.
If you stay with the organizer, who is the first one who has to arrive and the last one to leave, then us as instructors have to stay for longer. That's pretty terrible.
Yeah.
If there's not, I now do remember the worst event. If there's not enough food or not enough, like if there's no warm food during the weekend, that's not so fun.
Yeah.
If there's no cables and the sound system breaks down and you're expected to have everything, but we're not told you need to bring sound equipment, which I can do.
That happened? That's so crazy.
It's shocking.
What is the event? If you don't want to say it, I won't make it. But like it all happened at once, right?
A lot of these little, so some of those are just from different events, but like one particular event.
What was the one you were just saying?
The one particular event, I'm just going to say it was in France. We only worked with this group once. And we were staying in a not so great part of town. There was nothing really to walk to, so we just kind of were stuck. There was 2 restaurants open in the city, and I went to go get food at one of them, and there was a maggot in my dinner.
But that wasn't their fault then. It
wasn't
a culmination,
there,
right?
But it added to that. And then like
course.
at lunch, there was it was hard to get food on time, and we had a small lunch hour.
Yeah.
Nobody spoke English in the beginner class at all. And like, I could do a little bit, but like not a whole lot. And the organizer also was singing at the event. And that was a little bit challenging. I mean, like it was kind of,
that was challenging for everybody.
It was, I mean, like it was kind of fun, but there was definitely one of those like,
I remember you brought up another thing. Like now I remember, like we did one in France as well. I taught with Ramona.
You taught with Ramona?
Yeah, and
I didn't
it was
know
in
that.
France. It was in Grenoble, and I think it was like a swing and soul workshop. Yeah, and so it was like we were a little bit freer to do a lot of different things, and we did. And I taught like a jazz class, and it was one of my first ones. I was like, what do I do with this? And like I was like trying to put a bunch of like moves together and string them together, and it was I was just not ready for it. And like the students. Man, I know there were a ton of them there, but they were just not into it. Like the ideas of being a swing dance community and kind of having those ideals, like being run rampant of like being encouraging and trying your best and like doing everything, you know, like it wasn't there yet. And they were just like stonewalling us, like stone faced with us. And I was just like, Jesus. And like, it's one of those things where I'm like, look, do we need a translator? Like, and they're like, I don't know. Like, I'm like, oh, you fucking idiots. Like, come on. Like, I'm giving you a way out so you can actually learn this because, like, none of you are doing this. And we're asking you to be so, like, more than you are. And even if you don't know what we're saying, like, you see what we're doing. And it wasn't them, too. It was, like, us. Like, me and Ramona were, like, going back and forth, like, because she's very special flower. And at the time I was still like in the middle of like being a good or a bad teacher. Like I was really inconsistent. Like I was still having a bit of my bits of like, oh, I don't know how to do this, or like getting upset for no reason. And I was like, oh no, this is all sorts of wrong. And then like we just stayed at this random place. I stood on the floor. Like it was really cold one night. Like all nights it was snowing. I didn't know it was snowing. And then like it
not
was
enough
like,
warm clothes.
Yeah, and like we danced at this place, and this place was called like the Shag place, and like their thing was like to show like shag clips they found on YouTube. And they're like, yeah, there's a dance called Shag, and like, hey, I thought we were gonna play shag music, and I was like, I don't know what that means. Like we're a swinging soul.
Right.
Like,
right.
Like, oh man. So I was playing soul music, and they're like, dude, what are you doing? And I'm like, everyone's fucking dancing. Like
right.
I got upset at the owner of the restaurant. It's like, everyone's fucking dancing and buying booze. What else do you want? And he left me alone. He left me alone after that because I was DJing too.
Oh.
I got fucking French in his face. That's what happened.
It sounds
Yeah.
like it.
So
I mean, I always have a hard time with that because I feel like most students come to class and they really want to learn, and sometimes
they are, but,
language and the culture
that's what I think it
experiences.
is. That's why I don't want to blame them for it. Like it just wasn't there. Like it was. I don't think they were prepared. But also, like the organizers should know like their community enough. And also,
right,
like,
if it
also,
was not
like,
marketed well or properly, like
also-
that would have been hard for the students.
Yeah, and it was a good learning experience for me because I was like,
Mhm.
okay, talk less, do more, show them more, like be more precise, even with small words, stuff like that. Like it made it. I learned from that, but at the same time, it's like I could have done this better, yeah. And then students, you could do this better, and then organizers, you can do this better. It's like it's not just one person; it's all of us can do better. Like we're all here for the same thing, which is like learning this cool thing, and we think we have something cool to give you, and
Right.
you obviously think the same, that you want to learn something like from that. Like let's all make each
Yeah.
other's lives a little easier by trying to like do better.
Do the whole thing. Okay, here's a final thing on the list of like things
Sure.
that organizers hopefully don't do. They have to pay their instructors
Bum bum bum.
and their band. I still have an outstanding debt that has yet to be paid, but
Me
there's
too.
only one outstanding debt.
Me too. No, I have two.
You have
I
two.
have two. Yeah,
So-
one from Ireland and one from Italy.
Ah, okay. So I just have one from Ireland. That's still.
Oh, you didn't get paid either? Yeah. Okay, I thought it was the only one. I got
No,
really upset.
I don't think Pamela has been paid from that one either.
I thought she got paid.
No,
Oh,
Kevin.
okay.
Kevin got paid, but
Kevin got paid.
Kevin got paid.
That's so weird.
So I think I got my plane ticket reimbursed, and I think that was it.
I didn't get my plane ticket. It was like a $500 plane ticket too.
I think mine
'Cause
was
they
like
waited
I think
so
mine was
fucking long.
$800.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I was hoping to set up a payment plan. I even said,
Me
"Hey,
too.
let's set up a payment plan, like €100. Like this will take you like 6 years
Yeah.
to pay off, but like let's do like
and
€100
the
a month."
organizer like emailed me, I think like a year ago. It's like, hey, I haven't forgotten about you. I was like, hey man, no problem. And then the other person in Italy, the Sylvia thing, was like, he texted me too, and I was like, fuck. Like I was already in a bad mood. I was like, look, don't like bullshit me. Just if you want to pay me, don't make promises. Just pay me.
Just start.
You have all my information. I've given it to you in the past. You paid me in the past, and this is the only thing you didn't pay me for.
Right.
So I'm like, like it's not worth my time to like haggle over it anymore. It's just
Yeah.
one of those things where now I'm just like to the point, like there's no emotion here. I'm not upset. I don't give a shit.
Right. It's on the principle that I did work for you.
Yeah, you don't have to like text me every couple months and
Right.
go, hey, I haven't forgotten about you. It's like, no, you have forgotten about me.
Yeah.
Or you're just blatantly dismissing me.
Send me €25
Yeah,
a month.
that's
Like,
not forgetting about me.
right. That's good. Like send me €10 a month. That at least tells me that you're trying really terribly,
Yeah.
but you're still trying. Yeah.
That is something that's really funny because like I think in this whole sense of what we're talking about, like professionalism and being professional Lindy Hopper, we're kind of making it up as we go. But it's not the first time in history someone has been professional.
This is true. I mean, the Lindy Hop world is a world of amateurs. There
Yeah.
are some professionals, but it's primarily a world of amateurs.
Sure, of course, but that's how it's got to be because we've only been growing it for the past 15 years. And so it's one of those things, and it's a super subculture. Like I would say salsa like is the next closest that comes closer to us in the sense of they have festivals or they have congresses. Don't put it that far away from you. It doesn't matter. It can't pick it up. I'd tell you if it was. It is right now. You don't have to put it so far away from you. You just
Okay.
do this, like this, and that's fine.
And that's enough?
Yes.
Oh.
God.
You have earphones. I don't know these things.
Oh my God. Who
I
even
sound-
are you?
I sound the same
Who
here.
even are you, Hoffy?
I sound the same right here.
No, you don't.
To me, I do.
It doesn't matter.
I don't have the benefit of the doubt.
No, so
Amateur world.
Amateur world. Oh,
Salsa.
Salsa, like yeah, they're the next closest. Like like they have more money because they are just more widely accepted by.
Wait a sec. Wouldn't the West Coast scene be closer?
No,
How is salsa closer than the West Coast scene?
because they get paid by the hour like we do.
Oh, do the Westies not get paid by the hour?
No, they get paid flat fees. Did you not know that?
No.
Yeah, for the most part, they just get flat fees, and they get like, and then like
So it's
this,
like all
and then this.
included?
Yeah, and it's not as much as we make. They make like
The salsas or the Westies?
the Westies. The Westies make somewhere between 500 to 800 for working a weekend.
Oh my God. I thought that's
And
what like
then-
Jordan and Tatiana made an hour.
No. They don't because they don't do hourly. Like they do packages and like,
They do
and, like that's
packages.
the idea. It's like this is what you get. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
It's not so, like we still like for the most part. I think most of Lindy Hop scene still does like an a la carte. Like, oh, you're gonna do how many hours, and then each hour is this, and then plus a demo, and then plus like a showcase, and like how many per judging, like all that stuff.
That's how my
Like, for them-
contract works.
Yeah, and that's fine. And but actually, mine works in the more packaged. Like, I need to get this, and this is what you get for that. And if you get, you're going to get this, this is how you get for that.
Okay, so with
I
that
don't-
definition,
I
then
don't-
maybe mine's closer. Like I have a dollar amount, and they can either have me teach like this much or that much, but
Yeah,
they can
but the thing is,
piecemeal what they want.
yeah, but the thing is, it's not a la carte or like itemized.
Mhm.
You know, it's not like every little single thing. Like maybe yours is, because people like that for some reason. I don't understand.
They have
it.
different options about how
I
they
don't
want to
understand. I
use
don't
our
understand
time.
why they want to like. I'm just like, that's fine. It's like, look, this is all the things you get instead of itemizing. This is the flat fee. Like, I won't ask you for any more. Like, that's it. You know, and then it's up to them how they use it.
What if they want to work you more hours?
Then we can discuss that.
Okay.
Yeah, but then there's two levels. It's like, this is like the minimum of like getting me there, and then like this is like the next level, and this gets you a little bit more. Like, there's two
Like
levels.
the gold package.
Sure.
Okay.
I call it the browner package.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see. Well,
Stop looking at them.
I tend to bring my eyes.
Stop
this way.
it. Don't.
I'll bring
Don't.
my eyes this way.
Do
Then.
your perfectionists know that you lie? Lie?
I'm not lying.
Is that a goal of yours?
I wasn't looking at the camera. I was bringing my eyes down.
I love how you get
Talk
more
to
red in your face when you do
NP
that.
and
What? What? What
National
was that?
Public
Huh?
Radio. Talk to NPR about this.
They don't live cast their stuff.
We should talk to them about this.
This is the worst.
They could pick
interview
you up.
ever.
No, it's not.
So yeah, but again, in the whole sense of like, yes, it's an amateur scene, like for sure. Like, we're just figuring it out ourselves, and I think the idea of professionalism, answering emails, that is a goal. Being
In
good,
a timely fashion.
answering emails. Period. Answering emails.
That's terrible.
People need to answer their emails. Like,
I completely
that is
agree.
fucking horrible that people get unanswered emails. It's really, really easy to set up an automatic thing to be
Response.
like, boom, hey, I got this, and just to let you know, this is the thing. And then like, if it's like a dedicated email account where you know you're only going to get like requests, like here's the package, here's what you know, like stuff like that is just really, really important. The administrative side, right? All the administrative side, like getting your shit together, getting your invoices together, getting your payment plans together, getting all that stuff. Like, I felt really horrible this past year because of working through the German stuff for the first time, like not getting my tax number, and I didn't know I need to get tax number. Like, and that was my fault. That was completely my fault. And working through that, and then finding out how easy it was to actually do it, and fucking like perfect. It was great. And then I felt so bad for the German events that I had, because I was like, I am so sorry to have you deal with this and like have to like ask you to wait, and then afterwards it was so easy.
Yeah.
Being prompt, being ready for things like, you know, maybe a
Choreography.
No, being ready for a speaker not working, audio equipment, having your own speaker with you, having your own, maybe a plug with you, maybe having a computer ready to go that you know is fully charged.
Right.
Stuff like that, like having material ready to go for classes.
Yeah.
Teaching good classes, like running them well, doing choreography. If you're sent choreography, learning that choreography before you get there, not, oh, I didn't look at it. Like, that's bullshit. I'm sorry. Like, that is complete bullshit. If you want to get paid for that, then you should ask them. And that's part of it.
Right.
There's just no problem in saying like, this is what's going to happen. Like, if you want me to do that, I'm going to spend an extra 2 hours before I come to the event, and this is how much I'm going to pay. I'm going to ask you to pay for it. Like, I feel like there's nothing wrong with transparency in the sense of like, if you're going to ask me to do this stuff, I'm going to have to get paid for it. Like, that's my job.
Right.
And I think we're getting closer to that. What do you feel about that?
I think we are becoming less of an amateur scene. We are heading towards more professionalism. And I think at the more expensive events or at the larger gigs, they have to be run as a professional event instead of as an amateur event. Like, for example, the Chase Festival.
Right.
Like, you can't have like 1,000 people on an event run by amateurs because there's too many opportunities to make mistakes.
Sure.
Or a great way to get a lot of people really angry at you. So I think something that size, or like Lindy Shock or Harangue, like some of the Lindy Focus, some of the larger camps, you have to run a professional show because you've got too many moving parts that the ball's gonna drop anyways. So the last thing you can do is just have silly things not happening.
Lindy Focus, one of the best dance camps of all time.
That
one of the best dance camps I've ever been to. Best gigs I've ever had.
The
to do.
music there for me is the best in the
dancing,
world.
the music, the hotel itself. I love that hotel. Like it feels like home every time I come here after
Fair enough.
Christmas.
It does feel
feels
kind of
really
like
cool.
I have been here. I have so many years of memories at that hotel.
The Michael and Jaya and old school Sosh when they were there. Like everything about that event was.
Did you just look at
so
the camera?
beautiful. No, I looked at the time.
Oh, where's the time?
Stop looking at the camera.
It's 23.
Stop it.
It's 23:09.
I know, exactly.
Okay.
So, but yeah, Lindy Focus is probably another good event. But yes, like all those big events, they need to have like a higher standard. Like even for myself, like running Inspiration Weekend, when I go into other countries and I see like the event flyer desk and I look like, fuck, there's some really good talented,
there's some good graphic designers
out there. Yeah, for sure. And Lindy Hop, and like they're making beautiful things. Like you've come a long way from like printing paper flyers out on like a sketch doodle thing and then cutting
yourself.
them.
Yeah.
Like it's it's so beautiful. Like you can see it through there. And I think at some point, like it'll never leave. But my hope is for a lot of the dancers and the organizers and the people who have dance schools and stuff, like get their fucking ego out of their asshole and just fucking, if they really want to make money and like build a community, you can do that. Like it's, in many ways, it's like building a religion. And look at all those religions. They're doing real good for themselves right now.
Right.
You know, like if you want to keep somebody, a customer,
Yep.
a student, whatever you want to call them, if you want to keep them for that long, like you make it where they can't find what you offer anywhere else. But also at the same time, like you keep them going, like you have goals for them, and you know them, you get to know them, or you have people that will get to know these people.
Right.
You know, like it's not all about you. It's you create everything, and it's not your image, it's not your baby, it's your workings, it's
Right.
it's your thought process or your artistry at work, but there's still like it's parts of you, but it's parts of the people you put there to implement them. And I feel like with that, you're able to take the ego out. Like I feel like as a teacher, it's very easy for a lot of us to be like, I taught that person. That's my student. Yeah, whatever.
Right.
Like they took my class. And I'm like, I never want to have that. I never want to be like, that's my student. No, I want to be like, that was amazing dancer. That's an amazing dancer right there. Or that's an amazing follower. Or that's an amazing lead. Or that's an amazing routine. But it has nothing to do with me. Shouldn't. Because that's like the biggest difference. Yeah, that's the biggest difference between like a good dancer and a great dancer. A good dancer, you could say like, well, they're doing good because they're kind of just doing that same old thing.
Yeah.
But a great dancer is like, I see them.
Yeah, instead of a copy of somebody else.
Yeah.
Well, so going back to the professionalism, I feel like one of the great things about the Lindy Hop scene is like if, let's say, a Lindy Hopper moves to a small city, doesn't have a scene, they can go, I'm going to make one. So I'm not a professional instructor, but I'm so motivated, I'm going to make something happen. That's where I feel like the amateur world is a beautiful thing in the Lindy Hop scene.
Yeah, you can kind of grow something grassroots like.
Yeah. But working for the amateur crowd, I feel like, okay, there's a lot of things I need to tell you just so that you know kind of what the baseline is and where we're coming from. Like if you're running a contest, who's judging? How many songs are you going to have? How many leaders are you going to have? How many follows are you going to have?
See,
like these are small things that I'm like, somebody should think about this.
Yeah, that's the funny part. Like that's definitely something that I've offered to a lot of events where like I'm like, hey, do you need help? And like, do you need this? And like, what about this? Like, you can always bounce ideas off of me, and like, I can help you out with this. And like, that's not a charge thing. That's because I want to help you out.
Right. Want your event to succeed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And like, once you learn off this, then you can keep it going or learn off it and do like, okay, well, I want to do this and change it for yourself.
Or pass the notes down to the next generation.
So talking about all this other stuff, wardrobe malfunctions as a professional dancer, like on the dance scene, like we've all had something happen, right? Whether it be in class or you're like, whoop, rip, or like, whoop.
Yep. Bop around.
Like caught in the hair, like, oh my God, or whatever.
Cufflinks in the hair.
Cufflinks in the hair. Whether you're doing routine, competition, or social dancing, or in the class. What's your worst wardrobe?
It would be a combination of one of two things. Either I had just put my hair up all fancy, and Kevin's amazing cufflinks got caught in my hair with an outside turn and like ripped it out because you can't hide that one. Like everybody sees that.
Yeah. And is that the one that inspired the mollusk bangs?
You know what? You and Peter Strom say the same thing about that. It's look,
It looks like a creature.
You know what? Some of us have high foreheads, and you have to cover it with bangs, and we don't. I don't want to cut my hair.
Do you think you have high forehead?
I know I have a high forehead. The
Why
Kardashians have
does
a
that
short
matter?
forehead.
They
have short foreheads.
You are not allowed to say the Kardashians in my fucking show.
They do have short foreheads. I feel like I can hide them. I have a versatile.
Why would
face.
you want to hide it? It looks great.
Well, sometimes, like even Rihanna has bangs. Sometimes she also has a high forehead for high head.
It's because we're in Germany.
Yep.
Yeah.
But the other malfunction.
What's your malfunction?
The undergarments. Because we're here in Germany, so my undergarments.
For our English and Spanish translators, go ahead.
Dance pants.
There you go.
So for many years, I had trouble with this whole dance pants concept. Like sometimes I just wouldn't have them because I would just wear regular underwear. That's a no.
You don't have underwear. Got it.
Well, that's not what I'm saying. And then I finally would buy granny panties that would go up like really high. I would feel like these are the biggest panties I can buy. Nailed it.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't wear tights at the time. And so like they would hike up. So like my butt would still hang out the bottom, but like everything would be kept up to like my nipples. It was all good, like all the way up. So that didn't help. And even like when I was at the US Open with Kevin, the judges were like, so you're going to need a different pair of underwear. I was like, God, even the professionals are telling me this. So it took me like 7 years to figure out how to find underwear that will actually like stay at the bottom of my butt cheeks. So that's an important thing.
So for those out there who've never seen you perform, they've missed their chance to see the under part of your buttocks.
There's pictures on the internet. So I will say to pass on to other people who are going to be in dresses or shorts that like are not form fitting, buy something that hugs your bum that after you jump, kick and squat and like bend and twist is still hugging the bottom of your bum instead of having cheeks come out. And the reason why I say this is because I've seen a couple of performances recently where the gal was beautiful and I couldn't watch the routine because all I saw was the underwear riding up, and I was just like, you have beautiful lady legs and curvature, but like I don't remember what the routine looked like. I just remember this gal's shapeliness, and I felt terrible, but I couldn't help myself. So it's like, please allow me to watch your dancing. Wear appropriate underwear.
It's just so funny to me because
that's all I'm saying.
Stop looking at them. So it's just so funny to me sometimes because like you get in these modes where you go into into like PSA mode in case you're wondering out there, and you're like, let me give you this information real quick.
People need to know.
Every time I'm always like, this is so funny.
People need to know.
It is so funny.
It's official. People need to know.
It's not so much that people need to know. You need to tell them. That's what you do.
Oh, I do.
It's
Every
not that
time
they need to know. You need to tell them.
When they see me snickering at them and they're like, Joe, why were you laughing at me while I was performing? It's like, because I was looking at your butt cheeks the whole time. So that's why.
Because everyone notices.
I couldn't hide it. I like tried to hide behind my,
Sure.
what is it called?
Clipboard.
Yeah, I tried to hide, but like every time I looked up, I would just do this. So I think after the 6th time, it was like, okay, Joe is spazzing really hard. I was like, no, I was just laughing.
Joe just dodged her microphone. That's what she just did.
No.
So wardrobe malfunction. I think the worst thing that ever happened to me.
For you?
Jump splits, man.
I was going to say, you must have ripped your
Ripped
pants. I feel like that's a leader thing.
I just remembered a story.
Tell me the story.
Just remembered a story. It's 2005.
Tell me the story, Mikey.
2005? Yeah, 2005.
Mm-hmm.
We're competing at Camp Hollywood, and I kick your hooters. I kick your cooter.
You did kick me. You did kick me.
I kicked the white Hoffy. The pink Hoffy?
Where's my clipboard to
hide? Put the microphone in your face.
Where's my clipboard to hide behind?
Too close.
How about here?
Okay, we're jamming. We're
totally.
feeling it.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, like we miss a connection, and we start like solo spazzing.
And you were like, I'm gonna come close to you.
And then I was, you were like, no, your legs were like open, and you like stood there, and I was just gonna be like, boom. I was just gonna be boom, and I had way too much energy, and my leg went way much higher than I thought it was gonna go, and it goes rip, and you like saw it coming, so you jumped a little, and I was like, nope, I'm gonna catch you.
You're so terrible.
It was so bad. No, I didn't mean to. It was like one of those moments where I was like, I have too much energy. And you're like, you saw it in my eyes.
I was just like,
and you're like, I'll jump. And I'm like, no, it's not going to help.
I tried my best.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a picture of
There's
this.
not a picture of that happening. I think it's a before and after.
Yeah.
Because you can see our faces like hee hee, like our faces like yeah, and then afterwards like hee hee.
Probably your face, because I'm pretty sure I wasn't laughing about it
No,
afterwards.
you were.
Was I?
You were.
God, I was in such good spirits when I was in my 20s.
No.
Oh.
How about that wine?
How about that wine? I'm feeling a little bit yellowtail, medium
Good.
sweet red robin, red roux.
Sweet Robin. Drinking on the job.
Who does that?
We're not working.
As in, we're not getting paid?
No, we're not working right now. I'm not working right now.
Oh.
This is fun. This is a labor of love.
Can one not work and enjoy it?
What? Speak English.
Can you work and enjoy it?
No.
What's the definition of work?
Yeah. I mean, when you're on the job, when you're being paid for your time.
Okay, so the job is based on pay.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, what if you do volunteer work? That's being on the job. Could you get drunk volunteering?
That's true. When you're doing a duty that is being
please that
managed by
booty?
someone else.
That's what you meant. Keep going.
No, I didn't actually. You just put words in my mouth.
It just
White
rhymed.
coffee,
My
always.
rhythms are bottomless.
Oh no. When have you drank so much at a dance weekend that you've been teaching at or you've been working at and you were like, oh my God, I'll never do that again?
I mean, like, there's been a couple times I've woken up hungover.
Thank you.
So I've definitely woken up hungover. But I would say maybe a better story would be, when was the last time I was drinking while teaching?
Whoa. Hold the fuck up. This is my show.
While
You're going to
teaching.
talk about one of those times you woke up way too hungover. At least one.
I can think of when I was drinking while teaching class. That's a memory I have. Easily acceptable.
Whoa, what? I don't think I've ever done that.
Well, do you want to hear the story or not? So, Sofia, Bulgaria.
I see what you're doing.
Kevin and I, it's our last
And
class.
you're going to some other jam.
And we were brought a bottle of wine because they've got great wine out
That's
there.
fine. People want to hear a real
it's
story.
raspberry wine.
That's
and so
fine.
we opened up this bottle and
I don't even know what raspberry is.
Keep eating your high heels.
Okay.
So every time we said rotate, we had a sip of wine.
Mm-hmm.
So by the end of the hour and a half, I felt so good.
Let's play this game.
It was a great game. Rotate.
It's a good game. That sounds horrible. Wow.
was so good.
I've never drank on the job. You've literally drank
Yeah.
on the job.
In front of the students, no. I mean, like, we weren't pouring it in front of the students, but we'd go over and we'd have sips and they saw the bottle of wine was getting lower.
Wow.
And we told them at the end.
Oh my God.
And then they all had drinks with us later. I mean, it was great. Like, the Bulgarian crowd is pretty fucking epic. So, like, they are a great crew. They understood. We were loopy as all hell at the end of that entire weekend.
I can understand time and place.
That was definitely a time and place. That is not a regular. Like, I don't
Do
go
you
to
think
the
you would do
north
that
of
again?
England. I don't go to the north of England.
Do you
and
think
like,
you would do it again in general?
yes, time and place.
I wouldn't.
In the next 10 years, it's going to happen one more time in the next 10 years.
I wouldn't.
Maybe not for you, maybe not with you, but I will do that in the next 10 years.
That's fine. I'm not
You're
talking about
judging
you.
me.
No,
You're judging me.
I'm saying I wouldn't do it.
Okay.
I keep saying I wouldn't.
Okay.
I don't think I ever have. I mean, maybe that's maybe a lie because like maybe like I have this like image in my head of maybe drinking a beer in a class but not finishing it. I know I've drank beer like while I was like judging a contest once a couple.
Have you ever
times,
fallen
probably.
asleep while judging a contest?
Almost.
Kevin did
Oh,
in Moscow.
fucking throwing him under the bus, dude. That is horrible.
Here's the
like
thing.
you
All the
you
teachers-
you will hint about the story that you were gonna tell, but no, you're gonna go right into Kevin's story.
Totally. Well, the thing is a lot of other instructors watched him fall asleep while he was judging,
That
and I could
doesn't-
see them pointing at him.
That's hilarious.
It
That is
was.
funny. That is quite
Interesting.
literally a very good story, but still not a story about you that I
This
was
is
looking
true.
for. But you're not going to tell me because
No, I don't have something
whatever.
that comes to mind.
What do you call? Oh, you do?
No, I don't have a story that comes.
okay.
So, I mean, it was a couple of Lindy shocks ago. I did go out to dinner with a friend, and we did a wine pairing with dinner. And I think I was like 8 drinks in. Picture me 8 drinks in.
I picture you 2 drinks in, which is the norm. and that's when you usually stop because you're like a super lightweight.
So now picture me 6 drinks later.
I want to see that.
It was I think I relatively held it together, but asking a drunk person like how they see the world is a wee bit different. So
I think everything was fine. You burned half the city down.
it could have been something just like that.
Could have been worse.
It could have been worse. 6 million Jews could have died. I mean, like,
Whoa.
we're in Germany.
You can't say that now. They're
We're
coming
in
for you.
Germany.
They're coming
no,
for you now.
I'm not Jewish. You just stop setting it up. Okay. I'm so sorry, world. So I ended up going to the dance and I danced around. I remember dancing with Felipe. There was other dances, but I remember dancing with Felipe and I definitely ended up on the floor and we danced around on the floor, like on the floor, not on our feet on the floor. It was madness. So that was one time. Definitely hungover the next day. I feel like I was rough, but Kevin and I have a rule, which is you know what time class is in the morning. So no matter how hard you've partied, it doesn't matter because there's no surprise when work starts in the morning.
How were classes?
Rough.
Yeah.
Kevin did a great job. I think he saw me walk in. He was like, uh-oh, somebody had a good time. I was like, was it you? He's like, you still smell like booze. I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. Otherwise, Lithuania is a good place to drink in.
No.
No?
No, because like, it's just not, it's not good for other people to see that. Like, I think it's no problem to drink. There's not a problem in the world to drink, I think, honestly for myself. But I think if we continually do that, then we're not learning from our own instruction.
Tell me more, Mikey.
Because like I feel like if we know something is not good for us and yet we're still doing it and not learning from it, then we're just lying to our students about how we're approaching the idea of dance and how it could be a life learning lesson and a life tool. And I strongly, I'm not judging you because I'm only going off of my experiences. And my experience is basically I've been way wasted. There was a Russia event where I drank a whole liter of whiskey in less than 20 minutes.
Oh my God.
And then I started another one and I got halfway through.
Who
Remy has video.
Oh.
The Russians were like, you're American, you can't drink. I was like, I'm brown, I can drink. And they gave us a bottle of whiskey each after performing. And some of us got 2 and I got 2.
Oh my.
And so they started drinking. I was like, yeah, let's drink. And I started drinking. I finished mine first. I won against the Russians. I started smoking. I was like running around. I was like not making sense. I was incoherent. And I ran to the front and the people were doing shim sham. Ran to the front, did the shim sham, and I started running around the whole venue. They tried to catch up with me and like catch me. And I finally like just gave up and I like started drinking again. And the people stopped me and I was like, whatever, I'm gonna stay in the teacher's lounge. Stayed in the teacher's lounge and I get like way wasted and I can't get up off the couch. And I start feeling the bubble from down under.
Oh no.
And the bubble is moving up and I'm like, I look over from the couch and I see the plastic bag on the ground that was meant to be our trash can in the teacher's room.
No.
I look at it and I go, I can make it. And I roll off the couch and I grab it and I put it around my head, like a noose around my head. And I like hold it tight and I go,
how does that sound on the microphone?
I remember it was like 3 times. And then and I had a lot of Snickers that weekend.
Oh no.
And so I could feel the peanuts coming back up.
Oh no.
Yeah, so I remember saying that and going like ha, and I like left it there and I look around. I remember like looking around and going like, yeah, I didn't get on the ground, and then like rolled my way back up to the couch, and then Remy and Mo come in. They're like, oh my God, what's that smell? It's like I threw up in the bag. And I was like, there was like this giant fucking balloon in the room. And I was like, I fucking hate that balloon. It's so big and it judges me. Fuck you, balloon. And they were like videotaping me. And like the stomach acids that came out, the bile that came out, like started burning the bag. So the vomit started coming out and Mo and Remy cleaned it up and like put it back in and like threw out the trash. But the room was helpless. The room was smelly the next 2 days. Nobody could live in there. Nobody could stay in there.
Oh no, Mikey.
Yeah, it was really, really bad. And the next day, like I didn't throw up in the day, but I did have to poop a lot. And I kept going to the bathroom, and I was like, and the two teachers I was teaching with, like assistants or whatever, like they were teaching with me, whatever. They were like, "Oh my God, what are you doing?" I'm like, I had to poop. Like, they're like, they didn't believe me. And it's like, I wouldn't believe me either. And yeah, it was rough. It was rough. And yeah, and that was the worst it ever got. And I didn't learn the lesson from then, but I did learn a lesson later where I was just like, you know what? Like, this is dumb. Like, I'm only drinking to like try to be accepted by these group of people that I'm like, I don't care anymore. And that only came up in the last like 3 years. And also in the last 3 years, like something inside a beer like doesn't work with me. Like it always makes me like too gassy and like too weird. So I stopped drinking beer. So I only drink liquor, and if I drink liquor, like that's a lot of money. So I'll have like 1 or 2 glasses or something, and then maybe that's it.
Particularly if you're in Sweden.
No,
It's so expensive to drink in Sweden.
Oh, okay. I was like, why in Sweden? When have you ever heard a story of me in Sweden?
I just came from Sweden. It was so expensive to drink there.
Now there was another time where I drank a shitload, where I broke up with this girl in Sweden or in Harang. She was in the U.S. and I broke up with this girl.
She must have been hanging with me there. Okay.
No. She was in Harang, and no, because you were hanging out with me. Remember?
Which year was this?
It was
2015?
2012.
Oh, that far back.
Yeah. Because I was dating this girl, and I just like went to Europe for the first time, like on my long trip. And then I got there, and I was teaching for a week. I think I was teaching with you. No, I was teaching with Nikki. I think I was teaching with Nikki for the first time. And then I get there, and then and like she wants me to call her every day. And like she's getting on my case for missing things. Yeah. And so I was like, finally, at the end of the week, I was like, done. And then I had like another week and a half there.
Yeah.
And I spent 3 days alone. And then you thought I was gone. And I was like, come hang out with me. Like we watched movies together, and you're like trying to like be like everything's gonna be fine. It's okay. Like I think you brought like candies with you one night, and you were like, hey, let's just chill out. I was like, okay. And then like after like 3 days of exile, like I come back and it was like, oh, I thought you left. And I was like, no. And then for the next 3 days I partied so hard. And it was back in the like Mark and Robert days, where like they'll learn how to party.
That was the best.
Yeah, and it was like those days, and the wedding.
That was the best.
It was all that year. It was all that year.
That was one of the best years.
Yeah. And I got super wasted, and it was the shower parties too, and everything harangue.
So I didn't go to those, but I
didn't either. They dragged me in there.
And they said, but you still made it.
No. They made it for the 10, 20 minutes I was in there. They like, oh God, this is such a horrible story. Like took off my shirt and like tried to take off my pants. I was like, no, leave my pants. They're like, and then Mark on the microphone is like, for the next song, if you come out and make out with Mikey, you get a free tequila shot. And I was like, oh no. And I turned around and like girls and boys. And like, I think a moose. Just a very very hairy person.
I think
I'm not sure.
Also had an equally good year that year, but for very different reasons.
Yeah, and there was like the office parties were that year too.
Again,
there was a lot of shit.
Harangue has some of the best, like offers some of the best times and some of the worst times.
There's also another story there that I'm not going to talk about. But,
all right.
But it led up to me. It led up to me missing my taxi back to the airport and missing my plane. And then it was a very expensive $600, but it was worth it. But you know what? Like, here's the thing. I've drank on the job. I drank too much on the job, as in the sense of during a weekend I'm teaching that, and I don't think I'll do that again. It may happen again, but I don't want it to. And the thing is what I learned is that it doesn't make me feel better. It doesn't make me be better. It doesn't make me dance better. All it does is a social tool to help loosen me up, if anything. So if I use it like that, in the sense of like, okay, well, I'm not feeling like too,
so like with moderation.
Social. Yeah, I'm not feeling too social. Maybe I'll have like a little bit of wine, or maybe I like Coca-Cola does the same thing. Like cocaina does the same thing.
Oh, okay.
No, but like something like that, or like I think in like Chase Festival, like I had one night, and it was the night I think you left earlier that night. I don't think you came to the room at Chase. I ran the side room.
Oh yeah, I remember hearing about that.
And people were telling me that like the other big room is empty and people aren't here. And then people started bringing me drinks.
Ooh.
And so that was the only night I got drunk. But like even then they were like super weak drinks.
Right.
But they were like perfect. They got me like
buzzed.
Loose, and relaxed. And that was the last time. And like I remember that was the only night out of the 4 nights we were there that I drank. Yeah. Except for the last night after everything was done on Sunday where we went to the bar.
Right.
Which is like, I'd rather keep it to the end of the weekend. Like, I think I think everybody out there like that's listening, like it's nothing on you. It's like you can drink, you can do whatever the fuck you want. Like I don't give a shit. But the thing is like try this out. Like try not drinking, but try having one night where you're gonna be like, okay, that's the night I'm gonna drink. Or like Sunday night, that's the night I'm gonna drink. Or like just Saturday night, a couple like one drink and that's it. Like
I
see
feel
how you
like this is
with
really
that.
close to your heart. This
It really
issue.
is because it
How
felt
come?
it felt different as soon as I decided to take control of it. Because I for a while, like it was a strong moment where like I was super depressed. It was like 2010, 2011. Like it was in that time. It was those 3 years. It was towards the end of it too. I was just super depressed, like really bad. Like I was drinking and driving a lot. A lot.
That's not okay.
No, it's not okay. And it was really dangerous. And like I thank every lucky star, every god, every her, she, him, boy, girl,
Every unicorn
grandmother,
gummy
every
bear.
unicorn gummy bear in the world that has ever lived, that I didn't get into a crash, hurt anybody else, or even hurt myself or whatever. But I didn't learn in that moment, and I learned. I would say in the last like 2 or 3 years, like definitely like the idea of moderation, the idea of handling myself better as a professional. Like, did it for a goal? Like, can I do it? Okay, good. Can I keep doing it? Good. Can I do it because when I'm on the job, sometimes it's stressful and like I will just turn to drinking. Like, no, like I can turn to other things. Let's go talk to people.
Right.
Let's go dance maybe.
That's also a great idea.
You know, like or just go back to wherever you're staying and watch a fucking movie.
Are we allowed to do that?
Yeah.
Really?
I usually tell people like, hey, I'm not feeling good. Like, I think I'm just gonna go home. Like,
and you can do that.
Yeah, why not? I'm being transparent with people. Like, hey, you know what? Like, I'm gonna recharge tonight, and I'm gonna come back stronger tomorrow night. You know, like that's one of the things I really want to do. A lot of the times, I love staying. How do you feel about this? Like, at an event, like, if you can, and you know classes are good, and you know you get enough sleep, like, staying to the last possible song of a night.
Oh, and it's been so long since I've done that.
Even if you're just able to like just like chill and not dance the whole time, like maybe dance every once in a while, but like you're just chill, hanging out with people and like just having a good time, and still get up the next day and dance and teach.
I mean, if the dance ends at 2, that's easy. If the dance ends at like 6, that's harder for me.
Yeah, it really is. Like there's only a couple places where I can do that. Harlem is definitely one of them in Lithuania.
That's also just a crazy good event. I think I'm sure I've done it since then, but that is definitely, I have many memories from being at Harlem where it was like, okay, it's another 6 a.m. Okay, well, class is going to be rough, but I'm going to do it.
But they never are really. Like you get along with people and like everyone's like in that same mode of like, you know what, we're just going through these classes and like teach us 1 or 2 things, but then we just get ready for that dance.
Oh, the dancing
like,
was so good.
That's what it definitely feels like. And I think honestly, like, again, it's not that I think everyone should do it, but like try it out. Like everyone out there that wants to be a professional, feels like they might be a semi-professional or like an amateur into this world of dance teaching and being a professional Lindy Hopper or swing dancer. Like, don't think that you need to drink. Don't think that, like, I know there's like a cool trend out there of like the craft cocktails, and like
I'm totally guilty of that.
Yeah, that's super cool. But like, the funny thing is like that doesn't do a goddamn thing. Like, it's tasty. But like then at some point, like you just become a drinker of fancy drinks, and same thing, whether it's fucking High Life or like a gin fizz, like it doesn't matter.
Jive Junction topic right here.
I don't know. I don't talk to bullshit people. So I think in general, like for me, it's like, again, it's not a problem to drink, and I'm not talking about this like for the casual Lindy Hopper, like there and even the professionals, but like I'm saying, like if you're gonna count yourself a professional, like, imagine how many jobs where you're like actually allowed to drink on the job and don't abuse it. That's all it really is. Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah. So this is the last little thing about this topic, and then we'll get into a question. Oh shit! Wow. I swear to God, that was said like 57 minutes ago, and now it's at 1:44.
Ooh,
that's crazy.
My.
That's crazy. Okay, so I mean, I kind of talked about it a little bit, like the then and now, like how I felt like at the beginning of my dancing life and career and type, and then talk about how I feel about it now, mostly in drinking, but like it really means in all standards of professionalism. But is there something that you learned over all these many years where maybe you made these mistakes at the very beginning and now you're like, oh yeah, I learned a lot from those mistakes?
Are we talking about like things about teaching, or are we talking about like life in general?
Everything, because I don't feel like they're two different things.
When hanging with foreigners, slow down, Americans. Like,
sure.
that is a big one. And also, if if you have friends that have been teaching overseas, please give them a little bit of grace when they come back if their English sounds completely jacked up because they've been hanging with non-English speakers.
So everyone make fun of Joe about her weird English.
A little bit. Oftentimes when I come back after being in Europe for a number of months, I feel like my English is just jacked.
Ready? Here's a trick. Just always have it jacked. No one will know the difference. Like this guy right here.
Okay. Opciones. Let's see. Always have a robe, a bathing suit, and a pair of flip-flops on you because those always come in handy. Never leave your stuff somewhere. Always bring it with you because you might not want to go back to that place. Like, don't leave your shoes at a dance studio because you'll come back tomorrow. Like, you might not. Or don't leave your bag somewhere. Always bring your
everywhere.
stuff.
Yeah.
I have done that many a times where I'm like, I'll come back, and Kevin has always been really good about bringing his stuff everywhere. And so when our plans change, I always have to go back, which is always super annoying.
I have a question, just in general. Well, if you had a choice between a dance event that you know is going to be fucking amazing and you like love it to death and everyone's going there, or going to an event that is just for money, and you know you're not going to have any fun. There's going to be like 3 hours of like dance time and it's not even live music. What would you do? Would you go to the dance event for the gig, or would you go to the dance event you really want to go to?
So based on my actions, I would take the paying gig. As in, because people speak about things, and then people actually, you have their actions to look at. So in the past, I have taken the gigs. Oftentimes because I know about the gigs a year and a half in advance, where often when I think like, oh, this event's coming up, I could totally go do that. It's typically a month out, but I have been long booked. So based on my actions, I would say I take the gig.
Okay, that's good. But you know most of these events that are going a year in advance. So let's say
the
situation. Facebook.
They don't always post it as early as they tell the instructors.
I'm pretty sure they do. You know a year out, and you have a choice, and you know the event is going to happen that time, and you know this other paying gig is going to happen. What would you choose then?
I feel like this next year it'll be a little bit different. Historically, I've taken the gig.
Not historically. What would you do right now?
Assuming all things equal, I would go show up and dance. I would go show up to a gig. And
you take the gig.
Sorry, I would go show up to a camp and go dance.
You show up to the gig.
So like for example,
you take the gig instead of going to the camp.
No. So for example, like let's say I knew next year like the date for Harlem. Like right now, I'd be like, I'm going to keep that weekend open so that I could attend that event.
But like let's say like at the same time it happens. You know at the same time. Let's say everything is equal. Like you find out there's an event that you really want to go to, and you know there's another event that you're going to get paid to go to at the exact same time, and you get like an email about it like that day at the same time.
So it also depends on the gig.
I just told you the gig. It's just a run-of-the-mill gig.
Oh, it's just a run-of-the-mill gig. Then
I
would go take the dance. I would go dance.
Interesting.
But
you didn't have to change your answer. I know you still will probably take the gig, like you said.
If it's a run-of-the-mill gig, but if somebody was like, hey, a scene has just started up in South Africa, I would be like, well, I haven't been to South Africa, so I would rather go to South Africa and get to experience a new country.
So it matters on the.
So it matters what the gig is. So if it's just a run-of-the-mill, if it's just like for example, it's like, hey, it's going to be a random gig in Germany, even though that might be a new gig. I've taught in Germany a lot, but I've not taught in South Africa. Or if it's like, hey, there's a new scene in Chile, I'd be like, I haven't been to the country. So again, it depends on of like what the gig is. If it's a gig in a country that I've been to multiple times, far more flexible.
Yeah, I can see that for sure.
How about you?
I think after you hearing that, I would take that in consideration as well. But usually, if it was like something to a place that I'm like still even then, like I'd be like, no, how about next year? And then I really want to go to this one. You know, like I've been doing that more in the past year and a half. And
how do you feel about that?
I feel really good about it.
How many gigs have you been to recently? How many dance events have you been to recently where you've just been a dancer?
Like 10 in the past year.
Holy shit! Which ones?
Blue Skies, Boston Tea Party, Lindy Hop again this year.
Nice.
I was gonna go to Harangue last 2 years ago when I went.
Was that the year we ended up teaching?
I know there's like small ones. No,
It wasn't
So
2 years ago?
it was before that.
Okay.
Sorry. That was 3 years ago.
Okay.
That was 2015, right? Then we taught. Yeah, because that was the same year that we did the routine.
Yeah.
So it was the year before that. Then I
Okay.
went. And
2014.
But I think in the long term, like I think going to more dance events and just going to have fun and like chill out and hang out and not have to worry about a damn thing, and be able to go and dance and drink without
Oh.
having to worry about what I have to do the next day. Like that's also another good thing too. Like because like I see a lot. I mean, it is fun. It is fun. Like again
Yeah.
in moderation, but like of course like. I don't want to be doing it when I'm working. Like, I don't want to pass that on to the next generation and be like, this is totally fine. Because I feel like in a lot of cases, and you know as well, without naming names,
Yeah.
a lot of shitheads have been fucking progressing that and letting it like fester. And then it becomes horrible. It's like, there's no reason to do it. Like, I can't imagine like what that's going to do to people's bodies over time. Drinking that much alcohol and then like forcing them to be an athlete, like that's not the way to do it.
That is very challenging. So along the same lines, I've actually now limited myself to 3 gigs a month so that I can take 1 week off so that I can go train somewhere. And it's either taking dance classes in a city or going somewhere to train.
Sure.
So that's for next year. I've earmarked it in my calendar. So it's actually
Cool.
in. So now it's like I've booked myself to gig somewhere. And by gig, I mean train. So all of those weeks are blocked off in purple. So hopefully I've got a 10-day run, which will probably be closer to 5 days because I'll need to catch up on other work that I haven't gotten done. So that's the new thing for 2018. God, that's 2018.
I mean, like I always had a joke that like you always had to schedule sex. So like I mean, you do have to schedule the time off. Like, but you do have to schedule time off. You have to,
because otherwise it's like another gig shows up and you're like, of course I'd like
take that
to.
gig. Yeah.
Instead of going, actually, you know what? I've booked that time so I can recoup, or so that I can train, or so that I can go to a wedding or to a birthday, or like other things.
Let's take in consideration that like you make like $800 to $1,000 a weekend, and if you work all weekends in a year, was that 54, 52?
52. There's 52 weeks in a
52?
year. So let's do 1,000 because that makes math way easier.
Yeah, 50,000 a year. But that's only if you do every weekend.
Correct. And now at this point, Kevin and I are taking 24 gigs a year.
So there you go. Make the math, right? Like
24,000.
So, exactly. Yep. And like that's way under the limit, way under the income budget, like in America at least. And now with me and you, like now I get it. Like you have to split it between 2 different countries.
Yeah.
And it gets very, very difficult at that point. So because like with the idea of taxes and you don't want to get caught by anybody, but you're not doing anything illegal. But at the same time, like in their eyes, you might be.
Right.
And that's
so you have to
the
prove
fucking,
that you're above board.
Yeah. So you're like, God damn, what? It's like,
right.
It's just make it easier for me. I'm just trying to live on a couple $100 a month. Like,
right. Take it easy, guys.
Yeah. So in closing, I think like this is 2 hours. I didn't want to be like the fucking track.
Well, you could still like cut this down. Oh, the track's awesome though. But you could still cut this down.
It can be, except every once in a while.
I do have one more piece of advice you had talked about. Some of it was about clothing, but I was going to tell you one other thing.
No clothing. If you want any,
No.
like you tried to sneak this in before,
well,
and I'm
no. Well, okay, it's not about clothing. But when you're talking about wardrobe malfunctions and then like advice for other dancers.
I didn't talk about the advice. You said about the advice.
I thought you said like, what is it? Okay, I thought you had said this. So I'm going to talk about it anyways. Best piece of advice. Don't date your dance partner.
Oh, you wanted to say that so bad.
I did.
I don't
thought
think so.
about it.
I don't think so.
So then I will rephrase that.
That's you.
On my personal experience, dating a dance partner was a terrible idea.
Yeah.
Not dating a dance partner has been a brilliant idea. And it doesn't mean that I haven't still had challenges as if I was in a relationship, but it's a different type of problem.
That's so funny how you want to inform people.
Am I talking close enough to that? You keep doing this. I'm like,
you just want to inform people. It's just funny. It's just constantly like.
I thought you had asked the question.
No,
I guess I
didn't. You brought it up before we got on.
I think your
recording.
plaid made me ask it.
No, not even close. It's just really funny.
funny.
It's just really funny how like you get in these moments where you're like, let me tell you something.
I got some important things to say, Mikey.
Something.
I got lots of things to say.
I think, in my personal opinion, I think all things are possible as long as you work hard at it. Like, I don't think we would be here. We have some sort of talent in this dance world, but like we wouldn't be here unless we worked hard at it. So, in the same respects, I think a lot of things in life can be like that if you want to. But the thing is like no matter what, whether dancing and being a professional couple or like whatever else in life is going to be hard no matter what. So like whether you're a dance couple or not, you're still going to have the same challenges of how to communicate, how to work together, how to figure out how to live together, and maybe work together, how to live and work in 2 different jobs in 2 different worlds, and maybe one of them travels and maybe one of them doesn't travel. Like there's always so much. So like I feel like don't date your dance partner is like don't date people. Like I feel like it's like that.
All the people.
Yeah, I just feel.
Try not to sleep with your dance partner. There's so
I don't
many
know, man.
people to sleep with.
I don't.
This is a true statement. There are so many people to sleep with, but it's harder to find a dance partner than it is a romantic partner.
I don't think so.
Oh, I think so.
I don't think so. I mean, I can make a dance partner.
I have found many more romantic partners than I have dance partners.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. How many dance partners have I had?
Let's say all the people you worked with, and you've worked a routine with.
Are we? Well, I mean, based on my
Except for
pro-ams.
pro-ams.
Okay, so except for pro-ams.
How many routines do you do this year?
Well, actually,
how many times are you gonna kill yourself this year?
Well, it depends on how you want to
How
define
much
that.
drinking are you gonna make this year?
I'm not going to drink until Sunday.
How many routines are you gonna do at IHC this year?
3 pro-ams, a routine with you, and a team routine.
5.
So 5 routines.
5. Stop looking
You
at
look
them.
too. You look
No,
too.
I did. I looked
you
down.
looked- oh, is that what that was?
Don't start blaming
I
this
saw
on
your
me.
head rotate.
Not
I was like,
even
oh, I got you.
close.
I thought we were both
You
going to be like,
rotated first.
we got it.
No.
No, I thought we were doing it at the same time.
God.
I thought we were a partnership,
You're
Mikey.
so funny.
But we haven't dated.
You're the worst.
We've had dating problems, but we haven't dated. Sorry. We've been romantic, but we haven't poked it. That
You know what's so funny? I just told someone that the other day.
Did you?
Yeah, because they were asking. It's like, did you ever date? I was like, no. Well, we date.
Kind-
We went on dates, and
we
we're like,
were together,
we were like,
but we weren't-
we were like cuddle buddies, but we didn't.
We were together the way that I'm
We
together
didn't-
with Kevin.
we
No,
didn't-
we were closer.
We didn't touch boobsies and pointsies and ickies.
We didn't have our microphones focusing the same way.
That wasn't English. That wasn't even
Blah,
German.
blah, blah.
That wasn't even. Okay, everybody. That's how we're gonna fucking end it because there's no more
9.
questions or anything. So at the end of every show, we stop looking.
wanted to see if
it
we had
doesn't
questions,
matter
'cause
You
we're on a
don't-
different
You
page.
don't look like you're like modeling. You know when someone's looking at you. You look over. So
Do we have questions?
No, we're not gonna do questions because we're way over the limit. But we're gonna do something.
But
we
I can
always do.
answer them really quickly.
No. What's your bright side this week? What is something that you make you feel good? Whether we talked about it today or whether it's last week or last year, whatever.
Something that one of the great moments of my week was recognizing that it's okay to dig further into emotions because they're not as scary as I expected them to be.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So you figured out emotions are fun.
Well, I'm not entirely sure I agree with that, but they're not as terrifying as I thought that they were. So
that's the funny part between us. Like that's I've always noticed that between us. Like that's why I've always cherished your friendship in general is because you think of things so much more and I feel things more.
Yes.
And it's I think a little more commonplace for women to be more emotional and men be more thinker. But I think I'm definitely the opposite. But it's always been really rationalizing to talk to you about things every once in a while. So
yes.
So it's really interesting. So I think that bright side is a very good bright side for you.
Well, you also showed me the Keone and Mari video yesterday at rehearsal, and I thought I was going to break. I was like, ew, there's all these emotions. I'm falling apart. They talked about their relationship and
You didn't read the blog that they sent out, did they? Did you?
No, I couldn't because I watched it again and I just I couldn't hold it together, and it just felt like I need to hold it together now. I'm not ready to
You gotta read it.
burst at the
You gotta read
seams.
it.
I'm
You gotta
going
read
to.
it. If you're gonna embrace this whole emotions and not being scared about it, this is the best way.
I
to
mean,
do it.
I'm taking baby steps, and there's moments where I'm like, it's not as scary as I thought it would be, but I felt very filled with love. I was full of really happy moments, and I felt unchained from the shoulds and coulds. And then I lost it shortly thereafter, but there was a couple moments where I was like, oh, gloriosity. I'm just all of the passion and all of the coaching work that I've been doing for the last 8 months felt this was that magic moment. So life coaching makes such a difference. The same way that I feel we coach students and we work with people, having somebody help me figure out how to find the antithesis of who I am, learning how to connect to those emotions and be present with them instead of terrified with them. I'm learning how to like sit with it a bit easier instead of feeling like this is awful. Like this, like anything other than happiness and like neutrality is terrifying. But it's now like, okay, they exist and like you can still function. So like that's about where I am. They're baby steps, but like
it's good baby steps.
It was a great moment.
Good baby steps.
And Mikey, how about you? What was your bright side?
I think my bright side this week is like twofold. One, found out I still have a job in Spain, so I'll be employed in Spain, and I'll be really good, and it'll be really fun. It's gonna be a lot of work, but it's gonna be real fun. So I'm gonna be back in Madrid in September.
Arriba. Okay. I was Speedy Gonzalez right there. I had such a quick response. Keep going.
Speedy Gonzalez is Mexican. Also,
Spanish.
also the fact is it's not a real person. Second thing is I'm going to Spain.
Okay, fine. Keep going. You know what's in Mexico?
What?
Swing Break Mexico. It's in February. Okay, keep going.
I'm gonna make that super cut. I hope that camera's still working.
Stop me now.
So I think it's two things. Yeah, one is definitely like I get to go back to Madrid and it's gonna be fun.
Yeah,
and
Madrid's so magical.
Yeah, and I have like a really shout out to Lee. I know she's not listening, but like, she's a good friend. Her and Oma, like it's gonna be super fun to go back and hang out with them. The second one is watching our video from our rehearsals today. I was like, ooh, I can see it coming together.
We're getting close.
It's getting close. Yeah, it's getting close. It's hard. It's hard.
It's not easy.
It's hard.
It's hard.
If you say it's not easy, I'm gonna want to change things.
No, it's hard. It's really difficult. It's so challenging that I get frustrated and I feel emotions and it's
But that's the thing.
Drowning.
Like, but that's the thing is like when we did the routine in 2015.
Yep.
I knew it was gonna push both of us, and I couldn't imagine anybody else across from me other than you. Like I was like, it only had to be you. Like you're the only person that I know that can put up with me. The only other person that I know that can do the things that I have stuck in my head, like my crazy, weird imaginations, and that you went with me, and that you were like, you know what, I trust you, and then like I was like, I already trust you, and like it's already back and forth, and you just went with me, and you had a broken fucking foot, and you still did it, and that you were already scared because it was already out of your normal way of doing stuff. But even the way you were doing like routines at that time was very a certain way, and that's your thing, and that's cool. Like obviously it does great things for you. But I was willing to challenge that, and I'm willing to challenge myself too, because I had never worked like that, to be fair, as well. Like it was all brand new to me.
It was crazy.
And again, like this time as well. But I think the pressures, it gets to me as well. Like where I'm just like, that's not what I want. Like it's not the things that I want. It doesn't. Perfection is not a thing for me. It's more of like it's a imagery or an idea or a thought or a dream that I want to get.
Unattainable.
Yeah. Well, it's just like, no, that's not the same. It's not the same, you know. It's like, oh, that's not what I had in my head. Like in my dream last night, that wasn't it, you know. Like, so, but there is moments after watching the video, I'm like, oh shit, like these really do look good. Like there's lots of really good moments, and I feel like if we make them pop, like it'll be really really fun. And I think like we always talk about, like when, like the last time we got together, like we were like, do we want to win? But what do we want to say with this? And I think we said a lot with it last year. And we got, and amazingly, we got rewarded for it. And I think that was like just
that was the most surprising part of it all.
That was the fifth cherry on top of the top of the sundae. Like I feel like this year is like, again, I don't care. Like for me personally, I don't care. Yeah, I really don't. Like it'd be lovely, but at the same time, like I want to put something out there that is us and that challenges us. Yeah, on who we are to better ourselves or to push ourselves and to push the community and be like, look, you guys can do this too. Like, we work hard at this bullshit. Like it's not a thing. Like it is not a thing of like, wow, they make it look easy. I was like, really? Because I see a lot of work. I see a lot of hard stuff right there. Yeah. Like the idea that phrase like kind of irks me. Yeah. I was like, that doesn't make any sense. Make it look so easy. I see where you're coming from with that, but like, no. Right.
Still like a year and a half away.
Yeah. Like when I see the Olympics, I'm like, I don't see easiness at all. Right. I see hard work, determination, sweat, blood, sweat, and tears. Like,
yeah, it's years.
And years and years in training.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, this is really good. I think hopefully people listening out there will get the idea that like this life is no better or worse than any other job they could ever have.
Mm-hmm.
I think the only thing that maybe makes it a little bit better is that you get to make friends all over the world, and
Yeah.
you get to have new experiences in different cultures, and you see how they all are very, very similar.
Mm-hmm.
And in many ways, you could see the betterment of the world. Like in the last 15 years that we've been doing this off and
Yeah.
on, more on than off, but like
Yeah.
now. But I think we've seen the progression of the Lindy Hop scene and the swing world
Yeah.
as a whole.
Mhm.
And it's been really inspiring and really great to understand that like people are actually learning from these life experiences in classes and taking them into real world, and then making them even better in their festivals, in their local communities, and
Yeah.
their swing lives.
I completely agree.
Yeah.
Seeing the community like continue to grow as our careers have
Yeah.
grown, as the scenes have grown, as there are more cities with Lindy Hop, and seeing how people have been incredibly supportive of their, I know, right?
Yeah.
Have been incredibly supportive of women, of live music, of different kinds of contests, of switch classes, like of all of the things that the Lindy Hop scene is now doing. To see how well most of the scene has embraced that makes me feel like, you know what, that's a good bunch of people.
We're doing good.
We're doing good, kid.
All right, everybody. Thank you for listening. This has been The Brightside with Mikey and Rachel. You guys can catch us on the Facebook, so you can leave your comments and questions. We love to get them. Please send us messages or leave it in the comments below. You can find us on iTunes. You can find us on the SoundCloud. You can find us on YouTube, because I put these videos up there and it's just the sound. So if you're like at work, you could be like listening in the background or whatnot and not have to pretend like you're listening to a podcast app. When I get back home to the US, I will put us on Google Play Music, which will be awesome. So for people that are out there with Androids and whatnot,
What?
they can listen to our podcast as well and not have to download another weird iTunes podcast thing. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for listening. Joe, you have anything to say? No? Good.
Have a beautiful week and be marvelous.
I hate you all. I love you. Bye.